Mic check. Mic check. Someone in the chat. Someone in the chat, please. Mic check. Someone in the chat, please confirm the audio. Eric, thank you all. Thank you all. The first thing I'm going to say is, woo! Are you boys kidding me right now? SST should go on hiding, but first things first.
How about those Devils? How about those Devils?
How about those Devils? Your New Jersey Devils follow up a beautiful road victory against the Washington Capitals. They come home back at the Rock, taking on the Nashville Predators. And the New Jersey Devils get it done, led by the captain. We're got a lot to get into, but your New Jersey Devils get it done, taking out the Predators by a score of 5-2. And then obviously the next thing I need to know is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
are you not entertained? Are you not yet a believer? Jump on the wagon. Lots of us have already been here. Your New Jersey Devils are so legitimate, it hurts. It hurts. And I hate to say it. I hate to be one of those people. It feels so fucking good to have been right about this team going into the season and just listening to all the idiots chirping from the trees. Oh, the Devils are this, and they can't score, and they give up goals, and I thought goaltending was fixed. The 24-25 New Jersey Devils, much improved over last season, heavier, edgier, more violent. My man Timo, maybe he should have shown a little more restraint, but you know what? What a beautiful kill by the boys. Timo getting the stick up high. Who wants it? Who wants to get rowdy? Love to see the aggression from Timo. Obviously, it could have, it could have ended differently. But listen, I'm Mr. Heavier, Edgier, More Violent. I am Mr. Physicality. I am the president of the Neanderthal Hockey Club. And when I saw Timo Meier crush that dude, I was like, oh yeah, win or lose. Obviously, we booze. I love the victory drinks. We are rocking with the Dirty Devil Vodka, the official vodka brand of the great Martin Brodeur. Cheers to all my Devils fans out there. My God, what a game. I was at the game, as many of you know, battling some elements coming back, but we're going with the Dirty Devil Vodka. Dirty Devil Vodka, smooth as hell. Absolutely love this stuff. I've been putting down bottles all too frequently. This one I'm going to top off with the splash of the Seagrams here. But wow. Wow, oh wow, what a game to go to. I couldn't be happier that I went. If I didn't go after the way it all played out, I would have been absolutely furious. And for those of you wondering, I bought this hat at the game prior to the hat trick. I bought a couple, I'm a merchandise kind of glutton here. Bought a couple items in the Devil's Den after the first period. And the hat that I had on was one of my favorite hats. I'll get into that in a little bit. But one of my favorite hats. And obviously, you guys think I'm going to come on here and you think I just, chirp people and talk smack about not throwing your hats during hat tricks. And then I'm not going to walk the walk. Your boy walks the fucking walk. One of my favorite hats I had on, and that shit got rushed the aisle. I was no lower level, I think 18th row. So again, we've talked about the trajectory and the way the hat is weighted. I had to kind of scurry out. I kind of bull rushed to the aisle and got to, I rushed pretty close to the ice, like 4th or 5th row. And me and a couple other gentlemen were rejoicing in the aisles. And I got a great lift on it, Frisbee style. My hat hit the ice. We'll get to that in a minute. But your New Jersey Devils, guys, 5-1 in the last 6. What more is there to say, guys? 5-1 in the last 6. It's now 3 in a row. We will host the St. Louis Blues on Wednesday, looking to make it 4 in a row. And this team, We're legit, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, if there's any ladies in here, we are absolutely legit. But let's just get to the game here. But there's so much to unpack. But first period at 5:08, Forsberg, just an absolutely bizarre shot. First shot of the game, by the way, for the Predators. We were dominating up until that point. I believe we had 6 or 7 shots. They had absolutely nothing. We had that early power play where they were buzzing, and we were just dominating action early on in the game. And then out of nowhere, for the first shot on net for the Preds, Forsberg just flings it from against the boards. I never saw it coming, and neither did Markey. Flies into the net and out. Forsberg giving the Preds the 1-0 lead at 5:08. I'm not going to lie, for that one, I was like, fluke goal. I do think we will come back. We were. Cheers to all of you, man. Let's go. Let's go. Your New Jersey Devils are so legit, and it is just, oh, man. Could cry tears of joy out here. But anyway, Forsberg gives him the 1-0 lead. A little while later at 11:29, Eric Haula getting his 5th of the season, tying the game up at 1. That is how the first period ends. And after the first period, I was I was pretty confident we were going to end up winning the game. I'm not going to lie. We were, taking it to them, carrying the play. They got that fluke goal, and I was like, all right, we tied it up. We're going to come back, and we're going to smack them. And went to the gift shop, looked around, bought a couple things I had my eye on previously, and a couple things I'd never seen before. Rushed back to the seats, and were treated. The second period may have been the period of the year, I would say. At a quick glance, I'm going to say that was the period of the year. But we head to the second. And at 3:52. At 3:52.
He's pretty, and he lives in Jersey City. Number 13, Nico Hishauza.
Nico Hishauza. El Capitan, the captain, young Nico. His 11th of the season from Timo Meier and Luke Hughes at 3:52, giving the Devils the 2-1 lead. And my friends, this was just the beginning of things to come in this period. On the power play at 10:01, once again at 10:01, unassisted.
He's pretty, and he lives in Jersey City. Number 13, Nico Hishauza.
Nico Hishauza, the second of the period, second of the game. And as you all know, for the final act of the period of Nico Hischier, comes in on that little breakaway. And I was on alert, actually. After the second one, a bunch of my friends were texting me, and I was All right, it should work now. Horrible. Software's horrible. Where it's all in the works. Verify that you could hear me. I don't know which microphone actually is working at the moment. Okay. Sorry about that. Hey, and at 16:57, once again,
he's pretty and he lives in Jersey City. Number 13, Nico
Hishauza completes the natural hat trick, the first of his career. And what an absolute phenomenal. I was waiting for it. I was texting a lot of my friends that were watching the games, and I said, I feel like he's going to get it. I said, there's too much time. He looks too good. I just feel like he's feeling it, and I think he's going to. John Woodson, you don't know what you're talking about, you clown. It's not the mic. It is the software. Sometimes I hit it, which triggers it. But anyway, Nico completes his first career hat trick of the natural variety. I rush down to the ice. I take my hat off that I was wearing, and I get in position, and I get a beautiful frisbee toss. It hits the ice. And I will say I am disappointed. I'm going to make a PSA video because it is disappointing. I have to believe, and I might be exaggerating, and it's hard to tell. Oh, I would love to dummy Woodson. Yeah, total moron. Maybe 20 to 25 hats were on the ice total. Maybe 20 to 25 total. I mean, how is our captain getting a hat trick and there's like 25 hats? I'm not going to lie. They sent out like 15 of the ice people on skates with trash barrels. And I was like, this is absolute overkill. What do you have 15 people out here with trash barrels for? There was like 10 hats on the ice. I believe some of those people were pushing the trash cans around, not even picking up a hat because there was that few hats. It was sad. I'm going to make a PSA video about it. I don't know if people just don't know, or I don't know what it is, but to see that few hats hit the ice is really troubling, in my opinion. I could be wrong, Black Atron. It just didn't seem like many at all. I mean, listen, I've been at games back in the day, or I've watched on TV where the game was stopped for several minutes while they would keep hitting the ice and they would keep going around and throwing them the thing. The game didn't really get halted. They cleaned up the hats in 2 seconds. I saw one or two others hit the ice kind of after the first wave, and then they went about their business, and that was it. Very sad. I give our fans a firm F- on the Hattie. I mean, wow. It was a very underwhelming amount of hats. But cheers to all of you. Nico Hishauza completes the natural Hattie in the second period. The period ends 4-1, and I am on cloud 9. Without my favorite hat, one of my new favorite hats, that really nice one. I don't know. Some of you probably saw it. It was a flex fit that had like the old Marty mask, like the horn with the tails. I'm going to have to buy a new one, obviously, but it is what it is. And after he got the second goal, I was like, damn it. I wish I did have on an older hat. I told people around me, I was like, he's going to get it, and I'm going to have to throw this hat. One of my favorite hats is going to have to be launched. But anyway, launched my hat, was with a few other gentlemen who were fired up, who ran down, launched that shit. I watched not many others hit the ice. Pretty pathetic. Devils up 4-1. Going into the third, they give up that cheesy backhander to, I don't even know how to say this guy's name. Leheru. I don't know. Leheru gets that little in tight kind of breakaway chance. Buries it on the backhand. Nice shot by him. 4-2. And then obviously late in the game after my man Timo, I mean, listen, I know Keith is not happy about it, but listen, guys.
Get a little heavier, get a little edgier, a little more violence.
Heavier, edgier, more violent. That is the motto of the squad. Maybe Timo went a little overboard, got the stick up high. I'm pretty sure they were scraping blood off of the ice. You absolutely love to see it. Opponent's blood being chiseled off the ice by the Prudential Center staff. Oh, my God. Absolutely beautiful. Devils kill off a amazing 5-minute kill. The arena erupts. And with the goalie on the, and at one point, wait, so it was 5-on-4. Yeah, so they pulled former New Jersey Devil Scott Wedgwood, I forgot to mention, came out to start the third period. Saros got the old hooking stint. He got the little hook. Former Devil Scott Wedgwood in net for the third. They pull him while on the power play, so they have the 6-on-4. And as the penalty expires, I believe Dowling was the guy serving the major for Timo. Shortly after, he pops out of the box, buries it into the empty net. His first of the season, finishing off the Preds. Devils win by a score of 5-2. I hope Timo doesn't get suspended. I think there's always a chance with something like that, depending on, how it plays out. I could see there maybe being some sort of disciplinary action. Anytime I haven't, like I said, I was in the car. I was at the game, so I saw the replay on the Jumbotron. They played it, and you saw Timo working him over, but I haven't looked at it in depth and literally walked in the door 2 seconds before I came on this live. So I haven't watched it back or anything since I've been home, but I could see that it probably will be looked at by the league. I don't know if there'll be a formal hearing or if there'll be any sort of disciplinary action. I hope not. I don't think it was, he intended to do that. It was the heat of the battle, and sometimes when you're heavier, edgier, more violent, sometimes people bleed. So, what a night at the Rock. Wow. Devils now 5-1 in their last 6, 3 in a row. Everything's looking good. And, wow. I mean, there's not much to say here, folks. I believe that this team is legit. You are going to see many nights like tonight. You'll see games where they win ugly, like the last game against Washington. And, wow. This Devils club is going to win a bunch of different ways. And you have to be able to do that when you're a championship aspiration team. Rock and roll part 2 and Yanni standing in motion. Those are some epic throwbacks from the old arena. Win or lose, we booze, we sure, for sure. Ace is crying over Nico getting the Hattie. What a beautiful Hattie. And my Black Atron, he can't help it with the hands. He's Faison. It's part of his genetic code. Salute. Black Atron, you get me, man. It's hard. Sometimes I'm like, maybe I should handcuff myself before I come on the stream. I do talk with my hands. I'm very animated. I hit shit. It's hard for me. I may have to get the handcuffs. And so I don't touch anything, but it is definitely part of my, DNA. So Black Atron, I appreciate you understanding. Many of these people don't. Let me see what we got here. If I could throw lettuce and tomatoes through the screen, I would have. Oh, this guy's a Ranger fan. Before I was like, oh, is this a real person? It's not a real person. It's my Ranger fan idiot friend. Cam Jansen, Albany River Rats jersey spotted tonight. Salute to that. What an absolute that's a beautiful work of art. Cam Jansen River Rats jersey. Absolutely beautiful piece. What a PK, Delancey. What a PK is right. I mean, wow, the crowd erupted. What a masterful 5-minute major kill for Timo. And listen, guys, heavier, edgier, more violent. Timo kind of went off the handle. And I'm not going to lie, I was pretty happy about it. And when I saw the blood getting scraped off the ice, I was like, ooh, give me the chills. Natural hat tricks and guys getting crushed in the face. Let's go. This team has it all. You want to do little cheap shots and you want to try to play rough stuff, even a guy like Timo Meyer, who's not one of the first ones that comes to mind when you think about the heavier, edgier, more violent movement, has no qualms about getting down and dirty. Jeter Toker, I tossed someone's hat that missed the ice. Oh, so you were like the cutoff guy in baseball? Like someone threw it, it didn't quite make it, and you were like the relay, you grabbed it, and then you made sure it hit the ice? Props to you. Sometimes you need some of those people in the arena. Those hats are expensive. Listen, guys, money is temporary. Hat tricks are forever, especially this gentleman's first of his career, and it was a natural hat trick. You got the hats. I wanted to walk around. Oh, excuse me. I wanted to walk around shaming people. Afterwards, when I was looking around and see all these people with their hats on, I wanted to be like, were you in the bathroom when that thing happened? Because Nico got a hat trick and the hat's got to come off. 25 hats, Black Atron. I don't know if it was 25, but it definitely wasn't a lot. Why are you running? I think it's a younger gen thing. I love my hats too much. Come on. I love the hat. I'm an old man. I love the hat I threw on the ice. I probably had it for 2 months at most, and it wasn't a cheap hat. And I launched that shit on the ice without hesitation. Shout out to my man Amagi Legacy. I don't know if he's in here. He was at the game too. I don't know if he's watching. Maybe I forget. I don't know if he took public transit or maybe he's not watching, but he had sent me. I'm going to get him to send me the video. He has a video of me from across the arena. He fucking zoomed in on me running down the steps and launching the hat. So I might have a multi-camera, multi-angle play-by-play of me launching the hat. Brendan plays, I'm going to be honest, I have never brought a hat to a game, and nobody I have gone with has either. Well, when you say brought a hat to a game, do you mean wear a hat? I mean, I didn't bring a hat to a game. I was wearing it. Alex, I would wear my hat. I would throw my hat as long as it's not my signed one. We need to come up with something else than a hat. No, we don't, Jay Snow. It is a hat trick, and people need to stop being cheap and throw their damn hats. I think, and one of the other streams, maybe I don't know if it was a live, or I can't remember, but I think it was after the Brat stream, someone suggested that people should carry burner hats or just burner hats or wear hats that they don't care about. And I don't think I could ever do that. And so, hat tricks are rare enough where it's not like you're going to lose 10 hats a year. And I always wear hats that I like. And so it's just one of those things, in my opinion, like I said, the hat I had on tonight, I absolutely loved it. And when business calls, that hat got to go. And when Nico buried that, I was like, see you later, hat. We had a good couple months together. I'll remember our time together finally, but you must go. You must hit that ice surface in honor of this man. Zach, that's why I always wear my older devs hats. I don't care to get back. Bidenomics has hurt hat tricks. Every hat is $30+ I ain't throwing that away. Yeah, my hat was probably more than that. Wolf Rock and these people are tight asses. They don't want to buy a new hat. Ridiculous, brother. I agree. You got to launch it. I'm sorry. My hat wasn't cheap either. But, some people don't feel the whatever. I'm going to make a video shaming people. I am going to. It's going to be a PSA, public service announcement. If you are at a game and you are wearing a hat and a New Jersey Devil, especially our captain, and his first career hat trick, when I was running down the aisles, I wanted to start pulling hats off of people's heads and saying, I'll take care of this for you, and throwing their hats on the ice. But obviously that's a good way to, get in a scuffle and or arrested. So, BM, if you throw your hat as a fan, can you get it back after the game? I'm pretty sure that someone told me you could. I've never looked into this. And I'm not sure if it's true or not. I did not investigate. I just, went about my night, but I'm not sure. You might. Respect for the Marty hat. That one was choice. Yeah, that one crushed the ice. Why are you running? I have a designer Devils hat. I ain't throwing that. No way. What exactly is a designer Devils hat? They donate them. I love my black camo Prudential Center hat. I would never throw that one. You got to throw whatever hat you have on. Do you think Timo will get disciplined by the league? I think no matter what, it was well worth it. That dude was getting on my nerves like he was asking for a 3-game heater. Let's go. I think they're going to look at it. I don't know if there'll be a hearing. Maybe there will. I haven't heard anything yet. I mean, I just literally got out of my car and ran in here. I don't think it really should be suspension worthy from the first look. But we'll find out. I mean, who knows? The Devils seem to have bad luck with these sorts of things sometimes. So I hope not. And I hope it's just, he served his he got the boot, but he served his time for the crime, and hopefully it's done and over with. But I don't mind guys in a game like that, the way that was. I mean, it just seemed like it was just building up to it. There was a couple little skirmishes, and it just seemed like it was all building up to a moment like that, and he had enough. And he was like, I'm heavier, edgier, more violent, baby. Let's go. Bah! Right in the grill. Right in the grill. That 5-minute kill was art. It absolutely was. I don't care. I love Timo. Same here. I hope he doesn't get suspended. I hope Timo doesn't get anything extra. BM looked like he didn't intend to cross-check him in the head. His stick rode up as, how do you say this guy's name? LaRue defended himself. I don't think he tried to either. But the thing, when you keep poking a bear, at some point, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And the prize he won tonight was Timo Meier smacking him right in his mug. Right in the kisser, courtesy of number 28, Timo Meier. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Fuck around and find out. The 24-25 New Jersey Devils beating you on the scoreboard and in your face. What a night. What an absolute beauty of a night. I am super jacked. I'm definitely not going to sleep for, who knows, maybe a couple days. At Flyers games, there's a hat trick. New hat sold at the team store, 40% off. Pretty cool policy. I don't know if the Devils are that smart. That's a great promo. I would love to see the Devils institute it. Maybe it would get some of you tightwads to throw your friggin' hats on the ice. Pathetic. I'm going to have to rewatch the thing. I'm going to see if I can somehow get a count. But I believe there was, I have crazy videos on my phone. Oh, I'm going to do a vlog. I did it once before and people seem to like it. So I'm going to have a vlog video probably come out maybe tomorrow afternoon from tonight's game. But I do think there was like 8 people on the ice with the trash cans to clean up the hats. And I think several of them probably didn't even have to put a hat in their trash can. I may have missed a bunch, but it seemed very weak to me. And I was looking around and I'm like, is there going to be any more? Like, me and these 2 dudes were fired up. We threw them down and then I'm sitting there watching and I saw like a couple hit. Markey was kind of in the net. And then I saw a couple more hitting it. It wasn't many at all. BM, thoughts on Biz getting jumped by 7 guys? So has this been confirmed? Paul Biz Nasty Bissonette, former NHL, AHL player, one of the hosts of Spit and Chicklets, and obviously nationally syndicated hockey personality. I saw the rumor that I guess he was trying to help a local bar get some unruly patrons out or something, and they jumped him. I would love to know more about this. I literally just saw something about this for the first time at one of the intermissions of the game, and I only saw something for 2 seconds, so I don't really know much about it. And what's the status on Biz? I literally just learned about this a couple hours ago. I think it was either after the first or second period when I was scrolling around online. I saw the mention of this. JP, can you talk about some areas of the team you would still like to see improved? It all looks good, but where can there be improvement? I don't know, man. Listen, this team is destined for great things. Where could there be improvement? I mean, obviously, I still would like a top 6 winger at the deadline if possible. A 4th line center or maybe a 4th line winger. It all depends, but a couple extra guys are going to be needed at some point before the playoffs. But all in all, we want to just see the team keep playing consistently, clean up a couple, in our own end here and there. They show signs of sloppiness. Not that we really saw much of it tonight, but overall, I mean, to complain about this group right now would be, dude, I'm sweating. I'm sweating so bad. I ran in here. Yeah, it's so hot. There's always room for improvement, but as of right now, I am pretty damn happy with this New Jersey Devils team, and you all should be too. I mean, my God. Unbelievable game. Wolf Rock and I was at a game a long time ago against the Islanders where the 2 goalies fought. They were scraping blood off the ice in that game too. Yeah, if you're chiseling the opponent's blood off the ice with the ice scraper, Come to the Rock and find out how we get down. We will make you bleed and we'll whip your ass. Let's go. Yeah, Timo just got completely unhinged. He must have been really festering inside of him for him to do that. I don't think Timo deserves any more punishment. I thought it was BS that there was no minor penalty given to either player from Nash, but I want Timo to be that bull. Mess with the bull, get the horns. Absolutely. And shout out to Steve the Maniac. He was texting me about this too. We were both kind of astonished that there wasn't at least one minor given to somebody on Nashville, and it was just a straight up major on Timo, and that was it. Like, here you go. Go kill a 5-minute. But it is what it is. The refs have been screwing us all year. Oh, John Woodson with words of wisdom. Goal for future lives, never touch the mic. Gem card collecting. I'm not mad with what Meyer did. We got pushed around too much in the past. Just don't make it an ongoing thing. Glad he stuck up for himself. Bad penalty, but the team came together. Yeah, what an absolute beautiful kill. The arena just exploded. The arena exploded after the kill was over. I mean, it was phenomenal to see. Yeah, I mean, I hate to say game of the year after every game, but while they're playing this way, I'm going to call this game of the year with Nico getting his first career hat trick, a natural hat trick, killing off a 5-minute major in a big moment of the game. Joe Mama, talk shit, get hit. Glad to see Timo getting mean. Love to see it. Doing it that publicly is fine once as a statement. Every time after that, I want Timo to be smarter about it. Wait until the ref's not looking to get your payback. We can't let Nico shave the mustache. My man Amagi, how you doing? Still cracking up. I caught you tossing the hat. What an amazing win. What happened that got Nico so pissed when he was on the ground with that dude from Nashville? So I think he got tripped up. It was kind of behind the play. I only saw the aftermath too. It was like he slashed at him. Amagi, I think you're talking about like moments before his second goal. I think you're talking about moments before his second goal. Chico, money is temporary. Laugh my ass off, bro. I got to eat. I mean, listen, we all got to eat, but like I said, hat tricks are forever. And players see the hats hitting the ice for sure. And I'm wondering if Nico was thinking to himself, like, yo, where are the hats? No love for Nico. No love for Nico. He Schauza, the captain? No love for the captain's first career hattie? I mean, by the time he turned around, the hats were already cleaned up. Crazy. I usually wear a signed hat there, but I would 100% throw that shit if I am, I guess, close enough. And if I had a couple twisted tees, even from the 200s. I like your style. I like your style, Steve Smith. Ace went full Tony Soprano with the kid in the hat in that restaurant. Dogzilla, need to keep a cheap throwaway hat at all times, in jacket or whatnot. Save them favorite hats of the playoffs. Yeah, someone mentioned at the last live. I think they called it a burner hat, which I thought was very interesting. It's like carry a hat that you're going to toss on the ice. I mean, hat tricks happen so infrequently that I can't ever see myself carrying an extra hat to throw in case of a hat trick. And so I will just live with the consequences of throwing the hat that I'm wearing on my head that I like. Oh my God. That's some high quality H2O. Whew. Wow. A lot of salt intake tonight at the game. Marshall, I'm a season ticket holder, and today the first home win I've been in attendance for dating back to the Timo hat-trick game against the Blues last year. What a relief tonight was. A relief indeed. Your New Jersey Devils treated the home fans to an absolute beautiful performance. We saw a little bit of everything. We got goal scoring. We got some physicality. Shout out to the boys, too. I mean, a lot of hitting in this game. Oh, let me do the game stats real quick. Predators, 21 shots on goal. Your New Jersey Devils, 46 shots on goal. That might be a season high. We absolutely owned them in the faceoff circle. 61.1% for the Devils to 38.9% for the Preds. Devils PK doing the thing. Perfect. Preds 0 for 5 in the power play. Devils 1 for 2 on the power play. That power play continues to just heat up, and it's a beautiful thing to see. Predators with 30 hits. The New Jersey Devils, 32 hits. And then we see block shots. Preds with 11. The Devils with 18 block shots. Preds with 20 giveaways. Devils with 19 giveaways. Preds with 7 takeaways. and the Devils with 3 takeaways. And you guys know hits plus block shots. I like to see that at 40 plus tonight. 32 hits, 18 block shots for a total of 50. And again, when that number's over 40 on a lot of nights, that's going to give you a good chance to win. The Devils throwing the body and eating pucks once again tonight. You'd love to see it. What an amazing performance by the Devils here on home ice. Envy, I'll never forgive myself for not being there tonight. Yeah, I was debating whether to go today or Wednesday, and I was kind of weighing other things I had to take care of in life. And I was like, let me just go tonight. The night before Thanksgiving, I got a lot of crap to do. I was like, let me just go tonight because I feel like this could be a good game. For whatever reason, I had that feeling. I didn't think it would be as great as it was, as it played out to be. But I was super jacked, and I had to go. So I'm glad. If I didn't go, I would have been furious after the way this played out, because there's been games before in the past where I've said like throughout the day, like I think I'm going to go, and then for whatever reason didn't go, and then something grand happened. Nico's first career hat trick. I am beyond ecstatic that I was able to witness that live. After deliberating going all day, had I not gone, I would be gutted. Another guy's hat trick, I would get over a little bit. But seeing Nico's, that was something special. Yeah, that was something special. The art of pimping. I'm not tossing something I spent $20 on the ice. Nope. Yeah, this is the problem. You people are cheap. I hate to be that guy, but you are cheap. Hats were always cost something. I'm not saying like, total your car. Like Devils won, go smash your car into a wall. Throw your hat on the ice. This is respect. This is how it goes. This is respect to the player. This is, tradition of the game. And I think it's really unfortunate with the lack of hats that hit the ice tonight. This was a statement game, in my opinion. The Devils took back their home ice tonight. Hopefully it spells the end of lackluster home performances. Guys, bear with me. I'll be back in 1 second. I just have to put on this fan because I'm going to pass out and die. Whoo! Your New Jersey Devils. What a statement game. Oh, much better with this fan. Holy. Yeah, I'm dying. I've been fired up for hours. And listen, if you can't score, at least cross-check him in the face. Let's go, Timo. Cheers to Timo. Wow, what a Devils leading the NHL in fighting majors. I guess the more violent part is mega important. Walt, it is all important. And the more violent part is definitely part of it. As most of you know, this team got smacked around for too long. They were way too easy to bully, way too easy to beat up on. And in games where the going got rough, it seemed like they would kind of wilt and cower in certain scenarios. And again, I have to thank Matt Rempe. Matt Rempe of the New York Rangers really put a huge spotlight on this problem, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back for Fitzy, and he was like, enough is enough. He went out and got the toughest man in the National, Curtis McDermott from the Avalanche, and then this summer he was like, no, we gotta get heavier, edgier, more violent, and then he went and did it. And here we are. And for those that still don't believe in the role of physicality in the game, I don't know what to tell you. Do you think it's some fluke that the New Jersey Devils are this heavier, edgier, more violent team leading the league in fighting majors? I wish the NHL had hit stats easy enough to see, but the Devils are towards the top of the league for sure in hits as a team. And that combined with the skill we already had, and your New Jersey Devils are playing very good hockey right now. Jersey Roots, like and subscribe, all you dirty barbarian animals. Thank you very much. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Like and subscribe. Let's go. Amagi, Winnipeg has a great system where you could donate money to their foundation to get your hat back if you toss it. Chico, Ace has cracked out on this one. Not everyone has that kind of money to toss away. Chico, I have to firmly disagree, and I will never bend on something like this. If you have the money to attend an NHL game, you have the money to buy a new hat. You could get a hat for 20 or 25 bucks. Now, I understand if you don't want to do it. That's all good and fine. Again, I will judge you accordingly for it. But to act like what I'm suggesting is like some totally egregious action and total disregard for tons of money. And there's a lot of you in here. The art of pimping. Same way you want to throw your money on the ice, go for it. I ain't doing it. Cool. Well, I always bring an older hat that I don't wear anymore and keep it in my coat just in case of a hattie. Yeah, bringing a burner hat, I think, is genius. Beachmaster, Markey starts versus Blues. I wish I could tell you. In my world, Markey would have started the last game, and he would have started tonight, and he would start against the Blues. The way the math team runs the game, I don't know if Markey will start against the Blues. I would think he would, but nothing would surprise me. And we do have a back-to-back coming up after Thanksgiving, so I think it makes sense to give Markey this game because an Allen start is right around the corner regardless. Select the boy, heavier, edgier, and more violent penalty kill. Great penalty kill. Brian, I agree. Ace got to toss the hat for the cause. Listen, that's something I'll never budge on. I'm firmly on. You have to throw your hat on the ice. I'm sorry. I've talked about this many times. Wolf Rockin', I'd love to see a hat trick against the Rags and throw someone's Ranger hat on the ice. Probably get arrested though. Dogzilla, listening on the radio today, we'll have to see the Timo replay. Suspension could be dependent on how many teeth he cracked. Did he knock some chiclets out? Did he knock the chiclets out? Dude, it's not about money bags, guys. I don't have a lot of money by any means. And no matter how broke I am at any given point in time, I will always throw my hat on the ice. When I was a kid, my parents weren't just buying me Devils hats. And when I was a kid, I threw a couple hats on the ice. And I felt the sting of like having to scrape together some money to buy a new one. But nothing, that little bit of money can never give me the feeling of the exhilaration, pure adrenaline. I felt like a child tonight. I ran down the steps of the arena to about fifth row. There was two other, guys in their 20s maybe. We were all smacking fives, and then we all launched our hats on the ice. I could not get that much excitement out of call the hat maybe $30 so the hat cost me. I cannot get that much excitement for $30 anywhere else. Oh, God, I hope I didn't hit it. On planet Earth. The most fun $30 has ever cost me ever in 2024. Firmly. My buddy Goody, the boys went home and the captain gets his first career hattie. What more could you ask for? Also, Kovacevic is going to make it really hard to trade him Ace after the season. He's an unrestricted free agent, so the Devils aren't going to trade him, Goody. The situation would be, are the Devils going to offer him enough money to get him to stay? He is a right-handed defenseman. He is young. He is heavier, edgier, more violent. He is going to have great numbers, great, at the deep analytics numbers will all be very favorable for him. Him and Siegenthaler are one of the best shutdown pairs in the league at the moment. I suspect they will finish the season kind of in a similar light. And teams are going to throw the bag at him. He's basically made league minimum for the little bit of time he's played in the NHL. And I think this is going to be life-changing money for him. And so that issue combined with the fact that we do have a lot of young defensemen, and then the first two that come to mind right away, obviously, are Shimo Nemitz and Seamus Casey looking to get back in the NHL. That combined with the fact that teams are going to pay him a lot, I have to believe that he's a goner. I have to believe it. I just can't see him. I can't see him coming back. I hope I'm wrong. I love the guy. Would love to see him back. I'd love to see him, here for a while. and be here to win a cup or two with this squad. But because of the fact of what teams are going to offer him, like I said, with the reality that the Devils have plenty of other young defensemen waiting in the wings, I just can't see him being here next year, unfortunately. Jersey Roots, you should make running with the Devils hat trick hats. Russell, just bring a hat with you at every game you don't care about. Scott, someone threw a 95 cup hat. Oof. Ace, this is the most out of touch you have ever sounded. I mean, that's your opinion. I will die on this hill. I will die on this hill. Hats do not cost anywhere near enough money for, if hats were $100, then I'd be like, okay. And I would still throw it. I'll be honest. I would still throw it, but they don't. And maybe it's an age thing. I don't know. It could be. But even when I was a kid back in the, 90s, early 2000s, I threw the hat on the ice every single time I was at a game. And I don't know what happened in society. Maybe it is just an economics thing, or maybe it's I don't know. But I will never, I will never let people slide for not throwing the hats. I'm sorry, guys. Judge me for judging you. Robert, how about them Devils celebrating with some high noons? Let's go, Robert. Let's go. Cheers to you. A lot of you guys are talking about the Biz thing, and I just heard about this. A couple hours ago. You got to be next level bitch mate to jump someone with 5 other dudes. Pure cowardice. See, that's how people roll. Biz confirmed on Twitter. JP, we don't have enough cap space, though. I mean, that remains to be seen, depending on what other moves take place. But Luke Hughes will be due a big raise this summer. I do think that there is a good chance Palat may be bought out, so that's going to free up some money. And then we have a bunch of other guys on 1 or 2 year deals with their money coming off as well. So I do think we would have the cap space should we want to spend it that way. But the issue is, are they going to want to pay him anywhere near what other teams will offer and give him a roster spot when we have these other guys waiting in the wings to take a roster spot? So it's tough. Chad, speaking of AHL, Casey has 13 points in 12 games. I hope he finds a way on to our roster at some point and not another. I mean, he showed what he's got. I think he's going to be great. He showed, a pretty good showing for, I think he played 8 games for the Devils or whatever it was. He has a phenomenal shot. He has great vision of the ice, great awareness, great positioning. Obviously got bullied a little bit in our own end. I think that's just partially due to maybe size and inexperience at the moment, but I think he's going to be a great NHL defenseman. I hope it's for the Devils, but if the Devils are looking to make any sort of trades, I do believe that a lot of teams would be interested in acquiring a guy like Seamus Casey, and I do believe he would have pretty damn good value. Maria D just got back. Awesome Hattie for Nico. That Timo check didn't look so bad from where I was sitting. I think refs maybe wanted to add it out. Maria, you got to watch the replay. He caught him right in the mouth, I think. Joe Mama, 3 wins in a row. Let's go. 3 in a row. Chico, might be a sophomore slump year for Nemitz, kind of like what Siegs did last year. Who's getting power play 1, Nemo or Casey? I am not sure about that. Insane Pollock, this is in reference to our boy Biz. Nuts, who was trying to break up an altercation in a restaurant and got beat up in and outside the restaurant. Did he get beat up? Like, were they successful? Amagi, Nico channeled that anger into the second goal. You can tell how amped he was from burying it. Such an epic moment. If you were in the beer club, you probably would have ripped my hat off my head and tossed it. Steve, the burner hat is an interesting strategy, but exactly as you say, too rare to warrant it. Yeah, I can't carry an extra hat around. I'm just going to throw my hat and be like, I got to buy another one. It is what it is. Tommy Bavaro, Nico, first career hat trick. How about that? How about that? First career hattie for the captain. Aaron, left the Rock without a hat tonight. It was signed by Fitz, but had to let it fly. Cheers to you, Aaron. That is how you do it. Nice hat, whatever hat, signed hat. When there is a hat trick, you throw that shit onto the ice without thinking about it. Tommy Bavaro, our boy Timo kind of flew off the handle for a little bit. He really embraced his inner heavier, edgier, more violent, and he may or may not have knocked someone's teeth out with a cross check to the face. Selected boy. Well, don't the fans get the hats back anyway? Does the organization keep them? Someone says the hats are donated. Organization keeps the hats. Scott, explain to me the goal that wasn't. Why was that not called? I believe I think it was a Nason goal. I think they blew the play dead. They blew the whistle and blew it dead, and then he shot it in. So once the play is blown dead, even if you score a goal, it doesn't matter. Husky Unchained, heavier, edgier, more violent. I love this team. Nico Stash is getting me hard. Kobe sauce is tickling my insides. All right, come on. Oh, some of you guys are nuts. Steve Smith, I'm going Saturday. After being at the first 3 this year, 1-1-1. Wish I was there tonight, though, for sure. Oh, man. I was so happy to be there. For Devil, I see it as Timo defending himself. Love whoever had a glove on Timo's stick just before it went high. Ron, did you throw your hat, Ace? Ron, is that a serious question? I'm insulted, Ron. Of course I threw my hat. You think I'm going to get on here for multiple times now and give a speech about how you got to throw your hats during a hat trick, and then you think I'm going to be at the captain's first career hat trick and I'm not going to throw my hat on the ice? You must have me confused with somebody else, Ron. Of course I threw my hat, ran down the steps, got a beautiful launch point, and I frisbeed that thing. It was amazing. Steve Smith, I would have lost my favorite hat for sure. I threw one of my favorite hats. What are you going to do? Life goes on. Hats are temporary. Hat tricks are forever. Steven Violet, do you see this team breaking the 22 franchise season point record? I think it could be close. I think it will be close, plus or minus a few points either way. But with that being said, I do think this team is going to win 2 playoff rounds. I do believe they're going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals at a minimum. Would love to see them skate the cup. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I do believe they win 2 playoff rounds, though. And that was my prediction from this summer, and I'm sticking to it. Max, Rempe played tonight and did another asinine cheap shot and got called for it. Tommy, Devils won, Caps won, and Canes won, while Rangers lost. Isles and Flyers both blew leads again and lost. R.I.P. Ace. Chico killed him. R.I.P. Ace. Maybe I missed it. I didn't see where I got killed, but Rangers are cooked. Those trade rumors are hilarious. Shipping out Kreider would be crazy to see. Yeah, I took the hat off. I was hot, dude. I got these lights are very bright. Now that I'm, with the jersey, I don't know. It's just very hot. I have a fan blow. Like it gets hot. The hat's gone. Hat had to go. I do have extreme hat hair. Absolutely. Absolutely have hat hair. Steven, Big Mac needs to play against the Rags. Oh, I think that's a given. I mean, that should be a given. I would love to see him crack Rempe again. Max, Big Mac will draw on against the Red Wings after what Rasmussen did last game. We know my man Brendan Dillon has it circled on his calendar. He's going to be pumped for that. And I'm sure there's going to be some other guys as well pumped up for that. I think that's going to be a definite another war. Another war for the Devils. Steve Smith, bro, it's a $30 hat. Let it go. It's worth it. Ace is 100% correct. Listen, I'm never going to change my opinion, but people are entitled to their opinions. I'm not, going too hard about it, but I do think by and large, it's a little disrespectful to the player that scored the hat trick. Chico, the improved defense 5-side plays a much larger role than increased physicality in their improvement, to be honest. Yes and no. I think they're both very important. I guess, overall, real goaltending and a much more responsible and better defense obviously is a bigger element overall, but you cannot dismiss the physicality, being a part of it as well. It's a culmination of a lot of things, though, of the team just being overall better. but for sure the defense is a huge part of it. Puck Gobo, yo, Ace missed the game, Kasicki, but let's freaking go Devils. Hope you've been well. What's going on, my friend? You missed a good one. It was a beautiful game. Wolf Rock and Blues have a new coach and mauled the Rags tonight. The boys need to be ready, Ace. Yeah, I think they hired Montgomery, right? Dearly departed from the Boston Bruins and landed right back on his feet. Yeah, every time coach gets fired, the team usually responds. I think the Bruins won their first game after he was fired as well. So, again, there's no easy wins in this league. I've said that forever. Every team has good players. Every team is capable of beating the best team in the league on any given night. And the Devils hopefully don't have a letdown game here and they come out and pedal to the gas, which is pedal to the metal. Peg it to the floor. I don't know. I'm all disoriented here. But you guys know what I mean. Just come out flooring it the whole way. It is interesting that the Devils have now won 3 in a row, and they gave up the first goal in each of those games. Pretty wild. Just going to show the true resilience of this New Jersey Devils club. Yet went down 1-0 in all 3 games. At home against Carolina, on the road against Washington, and then tonight at home against the Preds. Go down 1-0 in all of those games and find a way to win all of them. 3-0. In the last 3 games, gave up the first goal. Selected boy Allen should be starting against the Blues. I firmly disagree. Steve Smith, I'm with you, Ace. Markley should start. Markley should start the majority in my world. However, Allen's performance this year speaks for itself. Yeah, it's not nothing against Allen. Allen obviously has been playing great, but I do think at some point you're going to have to treat Markstrom like a legit starter and let him get in a groove. Because what is the plan? Are we going to do tandem goalies are we going to play, Allen every third game in the playoffs? I don't think we are. And so is Markstrom going to go into shell shock, having to play all these consecutive games when he didn't do it all year long with the Devils? I just think it's crazy. Pizza Party, to disrespect Nico's first career hat trick by not throwing the hat is unacceptable. Firmly agree. Oh, looks like a lot of people are on my side now are coming up lower in the comments here. I was getting ganged up on, but there's a lot of team throw your damn hat. Darth Riot, not throwing your hat is embarrassing. For Devil, off topic. Is there any way you could bring back the old Continental Airlines Arena goal Hey song just for one night? I think you're referring to Rock and Roll Part 2. I would love to bring that back permanently. However, there's a lot of issues. The guy was, convicted of a bunch of crimes. I also believe that he's not eligible to receive royalties from the song. And so for that reason, I would really love to know why we couldn't bring it back, because it is clearly way better than clearly an issue. I would love to bring back that song. And for those who don't know, look up Rock and Roll Part 2 by Gary Glitter. Used to be our old goal song during the years of Stanley Cup championship aspirations on a yearly basis. Markey gave up another offer goal from a bad angle. We were back on the play him every game train. Oh my God. I think John Woodson might be a Ranger fan. I don't know. Tim, should Josh Harris and David Blitzer sell the Devils to an NJ-based group led by Rocco B., Comiso, and Duncan McMillan for $1.88 billion? BM, Markey minus 0.91 goals saved above expected. The first one was a weak flutter puck. I don't know if it was brought up already, but how about the Darkstrom mask night? Yet another sick design. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. The black Markey mask is sick. Obviously, it's very hard to see the details on TV or even in person unless you're super close. But I do love that mask, and I think that it is interesting now that goalies are getting masks for each jersey. I find that to be amazing. Frank, I think the goaltending load sharing will wind down when the season reaches the stretch run. I mean, maybe, but I don't know. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we just keep seeing the forced Jake Allen starts. Steve Smith, you're 100% correct, Ace. Carlos, Nico is our captain, our number one pick, the heart and soul of this team. The hat must be thrown. Let me see. Dubs is like, if you're wearing a hat and a dude on your team scores a hat, you throw the hat, end of story. You don't even think about it. You just don't. Oh man, that's my theory on it. Whistler, get over it. Grown men decide the fate of their own hats. Only time is maybe acceptable to not throw your hat if it's during a preseason game. I think you still got to throw it. Ace, what if you're in the 300s and have no chance of landing your hat on the ice? Well, at Prudential Center, there's only 200s. And that I'll let slide. That I will let slide because if you don't get the enjoyment of hitting the ice with it and you just throw it and then other people have to throw it to get on the ice, that I agree with. But if you're in the lower level and you're within striking distance of hitting the ice, you got to do it. But if you're in the upper level, totally different story. Thank God we didn't overpay for Stammer or Marsh. They were invisible. I'll take Cotter, Kova, and Nason over the big fish all day long. I mean, I would too. But the reality is, if we were in a world where the salary was worked out or whatever else, I would still love a Stamkos or Marsh or so for a playoff run, and I wouldn't, make a judgment on them in terms of how they would play on the Devils based on one night where the Devils steamrolled them. But obviously their team as a whole is not playing well. Select a boy. Nico may reach the top 10 all-time Devils goals before the season ends. I mean, by the time it's all said and done, I think he's going to creep up. He'll be creeping up a lot of statistical lists. Dubs is like, oh man, Luke is going to get 8+. Won't be able to afford Kobe. You think 8+? I was hoping for somewhere between 7 and 8. And a lot of people, I think, were even surprised at that prediction. A lot of people were like 7 to 8 million. There was people in here that I think are just a little delusional sometimes. And we're thinking it was going to be like somewhere in the 4 or 5 range. And I was like, but somewhere between 7 and 8 if we're lucky. 7 and 8 if we're lucky. Jersey roots. If I don't bring a hat to toss, oh my God. Jeff, lost many autoed hats courtesy of Patty Aliash. It's just code. Respect the code, boys. Steve Smith, I saw the 95 cup hat and was very proud of whoever threw that bad boy. It was on the broadcast. John, let's overpay for a soft, never delivers a hit Luke rather than a war-proven Kova. Kobe, I am still pumped from being at the Rock. Electric. Woo! Jordan C. coming in with the hot take, I believe. Not a chance Kobe walks. Fitz will do Fitz things and get him on a team-friendly deal. I can see us dishing Nemitz as much as I love him. He doesn't fit our current style of hockey. I mean, what do you think's team-friendly? Because the way this guy's playing, I think someone might throw, $4 million times 5-6 years at Kovacevic. I mean, like real life-changing money. A $20 to $25 million total value contract for a guy who's never made above league minimum. It's going to be hard for him to turn that down. And conversely, I think it's going to be hard for Fitzy to offer him anything near that. Oh, boy. My buddy Goody, I know it's pie in the sky, but Nemitz, Casey, and Mercer for Crosby. Oh, my God. That's a very high price to pay for Sid, I think. Nemitz, Casey, and Mercer. Yeah, that's a real lot, man. That's a real lot to pay for Sid at his age. Listen, I love Sid. He's a legend of the game, an all-time great. I'll be the first. I'm not even going to pretend. I would go apeshit if we got Sidney Crosby, but I wouldn't want him at that cost. Nemitz, Casey, and Mercer. I mean, I would do one of Nemitz or Casey with Mercer and maybe some other pieces, but I can't trade two very young, promising defensemen for a very old Sid, because at that point you're hoping to win a cup, basically in a very small window. That's a very high price, but like I said, I would totally freak out if we ever had Sid at any point. Win or lose, we booze. Do you really think Palat will be bought out? I think it's going to be explored. There's so many other moving parts. I think it depends what Fitz does at the deadline, but I just can't see. I don't see how you trade him. I don't know. It's an interesting one. I think there's a whole bunch of other moving parts that kind of affect it. I think it'll definitely be considered. Whether it happens or not is another story. But we'll see. Puck, Gobo, Nason, no, Cotter. Cotter is signed through next season, so we don't have to worry about that till the year after. And Nason signed a 3-year deal this summer, so he has 2 more years after this year. Anson Meadows, if everyone adopted the no hat toss mindset, it would kill the tradition. Got to lead from the front and keep it alive. And Anson, unfortunately, it seems like, a lot of people here in the comments, it started off with me getting piled on, but then a bunch of pro throw your hat people came in later on. But just based on what I saw at the game, it seems like the throwing of the hats for a hat trick is a tradition that is now officially an endangered species, and it may be on its way to extinction, which would absolutely kill me. It would absolutely kill me to see. I mean, it killed me tonight, if I'm being honest, to see how few hats hit the ice. But I could see in the not too distant future where no one throws the hats, and that would be a travesty, an absolute travesty. Yo, Holmes, Timo, F that guy up right in front of us. Nice. Sad Jets fan. The Rock was rocking tonight. Seeing Nico get left speechless by the crowd cheering for him was so awesome. Yeah, great little post-game interview with Rachel on the ice there after being named the number 1 star of the game. Yo, Holmes, my OG hat was tossed. Respect. I tossed my one of my new favorite hats. I only had it for a couple months. It was the one, basically that devil graphic, the horn and tails that was on Marty's mask. We had a great 2 months together. And I launched it. Steven, you can't just change it from hat trick to underwear trick. It's a hat trick. Kobe, I couldn't throw my Marty golf outing hat. Oh, you could have. Tom Tarn, does this team have to make a move to build up the 4th line? I mean, I think it would be in their best interest, and I think they should. I don't know that I'm going to say it's a must, but I think it has to be explored, and I do think you need to fix the 4th line a little bit. Now, would I say we're doomed if we don't? No, but I think we'd be in much better position if we did, and so I do think that's something Fitz will take a look at. Ace isn't throwing a Marty signed hat. Let's be real. If I was wearing a Marty signed hat, I would. I don't really get hats signed, so it's an interesting one. But I would throw whatever hat I had on. Don't they put all the hats in a bin and put them in front of Nico's locker? I thought that was an NHL tradition. So for a while, teams were doing that, and maybe they gave them to the players. I thought that was pretty cool. Or they would have displays on the concourse of the arena. And I think it's something they should do. But I do like the idea of giving them to players or presenting them to players somehow. I think is pretty cool. What's going on, Luke? So let's start talking possible big game hunting. Kachuk isn't happening for a lot of reasons. With the Pens, oh my God, with the Pens looking to enter a full rebuild, let's start talking about Crosby. Luke, I mean, I would have to say Crosby has to be more unlikely than Kachuk. I have to believe. I don't think. Well, I mean, I think they're both pretty far long shots. With that being said, if I'm being honest, I think that Tkachuk is more likely than Sid, just because if Sid does leave Pittsburgh, I don't think he's going to leave Pittsburgh to go to New Jersey. But I would be the first to tell you I would completely spaz out for the Devils to get Sidney Crosby. Richard Tompkins, I don't wear hats. Chico, how bad do this year's Devils beat last year's Devils? I'm saying 7-0, 10-3. Keep Covey, let Siegs walk. Siegenthaler is part of that pairing. And he's also signed up for a while. There's no, letting him walk. He's signed up through 27-28. He's locked up. He's locked up real nice. And he has some sort of no move clause or a 10-team no trade clause. I guess like a modified. Yeah. Yeah. He's here. He's here for a while if we want him. Now, would he have pretty good trade value? Yeah. But at this point, I have to say, I've done a complete 360 on Siegenthaler. Many of us bashed him last year, and he was terrible last year. He's a brand new guy now. He's hitting people, blocking shots. And again, they said it was because he was injured, which I believe had to be a huge part of it. And I'm a Siegenthaler fan for sure. Siegenthaler is a boss tonight. Yo, home. Siegenthaler has basically been a boss all season. I think this team needs a long playoff run, like you said, to the Eastern Conference Finals before they're really ready to contend for a cup. I mean, that you see that happen a lot, but I don't think that that's necessarily a prerequisite to go and win the cup. Like, obviously we saw, 2 years ago, the Panthers went to the finals and lost. Then last year they went all the way back and won. Like, you do see things like that, and even with the New Jersey Devils in 1994, they lost in a heartbreaking Game 7 to the Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals and then won the cup the very next year. So you do see that. But with that being said, I don't think that, I firmly believe there's no reason why they couldn't win the cup this year. Now, I'm not saying they are, but the pieces all seem to be there. I like what's happening so far. We're still super early on in the season, and I believe if we get hot at the right time and the right things come together, there's no reason why they couldn't win. But I'd be happy with a deep run as a precursor. I just don't know. Like I said, if that's a necessity before winning the cup, I'd love for them just to win it this year. But I think they win at least the 2 rounds. That said, I would not be surprised if they did it this year. I would love it. Chico killed him. You had one of my messages open when you went to turn on the fan. Oh, yeah, I was dying. It was hot. JPP, this team needs to beat Tampa and Carolina on the road. Until then, they're not number 1 in the East. I mean, that's fine for now. I don't need to be number 1 in the East. We just need to be playing New Jersey Devils hockey, heavier, edgier, more violent, being consistent, playing a solid 60 minutes or damn close to it every night. And if that happens, this team will be very dangerous. Chad, this is pretty random, but kind of cool. My sister met Claude Lemieux at a wedding outside Charlotte last month. Said he was a really nice guy. Shout out to my man, Claude Lemieux, 1995 Conn Smythe winner as the most valuable player of the NHL playoffs. An absolute legend. Love me some Claude Lemieux. Luke, there's no way, dude. Luke, this is delusionally optimistic. Crosby with 50% retained for Nemitz, Haminaho, a first rounder in Dawes. I mean, I would do that deal in 2 seconds. I wouldn't even think about it. I just don't see them doing it. I don't know that. I mean, yeah. How many teams would pay more? You could be onto something. I just don't know about the retention. Are we overpaying that much for them to retain half of it? Not to mention the biggest. Don't stop. You're getting me excited, Luke. I'm not going to go down this hole with you. I can't do it, Luke. I can't do it. I can't see it happening. I think if Sid's going anywhere, as everyone's been talking about for it seems like years now, it seems like he would go to Colorado. That's where he would go. He's not going to come to the Devils, but I love that deal. If somehow that was on the table, sign it up. I'm not even thinking about it. OG Hat was tossed. SJ, Devils finally have a good mix of forwards, and Nason and Mercer are dogs there, relentless making plays. Yeah, a lot of guys had some jump tonight. Max, that Timo Major was so worth it, in my opinion. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. That penalty kill was nuts. Had me jumping and clapping in my living room. Yeah, the arena was buzzing. The arena was buzzing with every clear, and everyone felt, because everyone knew it was like, Timo had enough. He maybe lost his cool, maybe took a bad penalty. It is what it is in the heat of the moment, and the boys rallied and just had an amazing penalty kill. And the Predators thought that was their chance to get back in the game. Obviously, down to late in the third, with a 5-minute power play. Yeah. But shout out to the penalty killer. Shout out to Timo. Shout out to everybody involved. Shout out to the crowd. Shout out to especially the couple dozen other people that threw their hat on the ice. Keep NHL traditions alive, guys. Devils don't play well against Monty. Surprised Detroit didn't pick up Montgomery. Larry, shot blocking has deeply improved the team. Absolutely. Shot blocking, definitely part of the heavier, edgier, more violent mantra. And the boys have made it. And obviously it's a very big kind of pillar of the General Sheldon Keefe game plan is to eat pucks. You just eat those pucks, boys. And we blocked, I think, 18, I said tonight. Yeah, we had a ton of, every game they're just sacrificing the body and blocking shots. Like I said, hits, block shots, the two most underrated stats in hockey. Love to see it. Sad Jets fan, normally sitting in nosebleeds. It was down low tonight. Had to wear my backup hat just in case the hattie happened, and sure enough, it did. Had to toss it. Wow, wait. So, sad Jets fan, you actually consciously said to yourself before you went to the game, you said, I'm sitting lower level tonight, and I will be in striking distance of the ice. Let me wear a hat I don't care about just in case there's a hat trick so I could launch my hat. And you did all that, and the hat trick happened and you threw your hat? Talk about preparation. My God. Luke, a lot of things are happening. Team is maturing, actually healthy for once. Great additions, major coaching upgrade, playing like a team with balls. Heavier, edgier, more violent, above average goaltending, responsible defense, amazing special teams, the PK and the power play both looking damn good. And if these things all hold up, these are all just the elements, the little sprinklings of championship contending teams. Yo, Holmes, nice to see Wedge. Never should have cut that guy. Yeah, hindsight's 2020, but Wedgwood, looking back on it, is one of the guys that would be like, damn, it would have been nice to have him around at various points, probably over the last few seasons. Richard Zimmer, tossing the hat for a hat trick is such tradition. How many have you done, Ace? Others not tossing in the hat. What do you want, octopus? So, Richard, I think I've probably witnessed about 5. I may have witnessed maybe 6 or 7 hat tricks in my life, I want to say, and I was probably wearing a hat for like 4 of them, maybe 5. I remember a couple. I told the story about a Jack Hughes one from a couple seasons ago that I wasn't wearing a hat, and I basically coerced a child, but he wasn't. He was probably like 13 or 14 to throw his hat on the ice, and I think his parents were pissed at me for the same reasons why the people in the chat are kind of coming after me for saying you have to throw your hat. But I got this kid all fired up in the moment, and he threw that shit, and then his parents gave me the death glare. Sad Jets fan, if only Gary Glitter wasn't a piece of, but like, why do we care though? This is my question. Like, I understand it all, and I think it's terrible, but like, there's a lot of bad people in the world that do bad things, and unfortunately, when it comes to the goal song, like, I just don't care. I just want the song back. You know, it's unfortunate that whatever he did or was accused of, I don't know if he was guilty. I don't know all the details, and to be quite honest, I don't care. I did hear that he couldn't get royalties off it, so that's enough for me, or maybe royalties were paid to victims. I don't remember the thing. But either way, as long as he's not benefiting from it, you got to bring that thing back, in my opinion. I'm the dude playing Rock and Roll Part 2 in the parking lot. I love to see it. Controversial but correct take on Gary Glitz. I don't know who's that yet. Again, because I'm trying to catch up in real time, so I'm not sure, Steve, what you thought was the controversial but correct take, because I'm too far. I'm trying to catch up here. Chico, Rock and Roll Part 2, I'd bring it back, especially since Gary Glitter doesn't get royalties. That's what I thought from it anymore, but I think it's a PR nightmare the Devils would rather avoid. Like, dude, who cares about all this shit? Like, if he doesn't get the royalties, say, we're going back to everything from when the Devils were good. Period. Like the goal horn, bring it all back. Bring back the Dynasty Devils, everything that you can, in my opinion. Ryan, feel bad for Stamkos being on a team that's not looking like a playoff contender. I mean, it is kind of shocking that, you know, being that they were a pretty damn good team last year, and then they loaded up to be this bad. I don't think anyone saw it coming. I certainly didn't. If they played Rock and Roll Part 2 during a playoff game with the Rock, the roof would come off. Black Atron, the reality is, I don't know if it would. I now look around, and I have to believe that there's way more fans in the building that don't have any idea about that song and its correlation with Devils history or anything like that than fans that do. And I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And so while I fantasize about them bringing that back for a playoff game or something, Black Atron, I don't know that the majority of the people in the arena would even know what the hell it is. Resting Guitar Face, thumbs up. Thank you. Please hit the like for your boy. Hit the like for your New Jersey Devils, who are now on a 3-game winning streak, winning 5 of the last 6, and just looking like a team destined for May and June hockey, my friends. May and June hockey. Ron, you are correct. He took the wad of cash, got paid basically top dollar he was going to get, in my opinion, from anywhere, and went into a state that does not have a state income tax on top of it. What a money grab by Stammer, and honestly, he deserves it. He made his bed, now he's going to lie in it. He went down a bunch of points in my book when that all played out the way it did. I thought he was going to, prioritize trying to win another cup more so than money, being that he made a insane amount, $120, $130 million plus in NHL salary since he's been in the league. I thought he would, leave a little money on the table to go for another cup with a second franchise, but he went for the money. Amagi, saw a bootleg Adidas Brodeur jersey, really hit me with a double whammy there. Oh boy. Dogzilla, Rock and Roll Part 2 is the greatest, is the GOAT of goal songs of all time, period, at the end, and a huge part of Devils history and tradition. Devils franchise was the first to use it. That's interesting. I didn't know that they were the first to use it, but I fantasize about it coming back. I just don't think it ever will. Chico, Stammer had 40 goals last year. I'd take him on this team, even if it was just as a power play merchant. Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't want to pay him that $8 million or whatever. I think it was $8 million bucks. I don't like that. But if you're just talking about in a vacuum, Stammer on your team or not, who's saying no to Stammer? Puck Gobo. I remember when Meyer scored his first hat trick. I was looking for missed hats to toss in, but the Devils fans nearby had good throws. Jay Snow. No way I'm paying Luke over 8 sheets. This is gonna be a real controversial one. I think it's gonna really divide the fan base. Chad, give Luke 3 for 18. See how he pans out. Hopefully, him and Jack can be rational. 3 for 18, Chad. I think that might be a little optimistic, my man. I could be wrong, but I'm thinking it's gonna be 7 to 8. Jay Snow, Kovacevic gone after this year. He's a big shutdown defender. I think he is too. Unfortunately, I just think all the things we talked about before. He's going to be gone. Crosby's going down with the ship in Pittsburgh, I think. That would be so unfortunate. Walt, give up a chunk of your future for the last few years of Crosby? Nah. I wouldn't give up a chunk, but I'd give up fragments. I'd give up fragments of the future for the last few years of Crosby. I'm not ready to bet the farm with something like that just yet. I mean, that's a fair kind of, viewpoint there. Sad Jets fan, that's a move a team at the end of their window makes. The Devils are just getting started. I do agree there. Although, just getting started, I'm still going to say that it started in that 22-23 season just because we, failed to kind of tweak the roster or get goaltending last year. I believe that was one of the years of the true window burned away. Obviously, I do believe now this new reinvigorated team for this season is a, much better team. But the nucleus, before we know it, Nico's going to be 30 years old. I've been saying this for a few seasons now that, nucleus is aged quickly. And before you know it, guys are on the backside of their career, the back nine of their careers. And you're like, what the hell happened to this guy, that guy? And you saw it with, the Zajac, Zach Parise, obviously left in free agency, but that group of guys when, Langenbrunner was the captain, years go by quick. Clarkey left in free agency. And so groups have a few good years to really make some runs. And then for, whether it's trades, free agency, whatever it is, teams get disbanded quickly. And I would love to see them just, be a real perennial cup contender for the next few seasons. Too risky of a trade. I want that beef defense for fifth heaven. Let's get fourth heaven first, Puck Gobo. The Devils need to add another physical guy who's physical and tough on the walls. You could never have enough of those guys for sure. Palat, what he does in the playoffs will determine what happens to him, whether he gets bought out, traded, or stays. I think that's a fair assessment as well. Crosby equals Yager, bro, at this age. Trade options for the fourth line. They are okay, but need to revamp for the playoffs. A lot of people are throwing around some names. Trent Frederick, fourth line center from the Bruins, has been tossed around a lot. I think some people were fantasizing about raiding Pittsburgh's roster. There's going to be guys available for sure. SJ, that Nason deal is heavenly. It absolutely is. Benjamin, we're winning and beating good teams. Yes, we are. The last 5 games, even before tonight. Now we're 5-1 in the last 6. But to be 4-1 with those 2 Panthers wins in Sunrise and then beating the Hurricanes and Caps over a stretch of 5 games was absolutely insane. No need to add anything. I'm going to disagree there, Benjamin. I do believe this team obviously been playing very good. But when you're talking about really trying to put yourself in the best position to win a cup, at a minimum, I think we need a fourth line center and or winger possibly. But I also would love a top 6 winger if possible at the deadline. I'm not going to, stomp my feet and cry if we don't get one. But that is how you really put yourself in the best position to win a cup. Puck Gobo, I wonder if Crosby will wait on the pit sinking ship so he can mentor the next number 1 guy like Lemieux did with him. We're going to find out. I have to believe he had an idea that they would suck. I just don't know if he thought they would suck this bad. And, do you even... it's just... Yeah, so he's signed for 2 more years after this year. Yeah, it's crazy, and that's going to bring him to 40. My God. Sid really is just that dude. I mean, it's crazy how good he's been for so long. What is his stats this year? Okay, it's still almost a point per game guy. Unbelievable. 8 goals and 13 assists, 21 points in 23 games. Crazy. Always room to add players. Respect, I don't know if I would have tossed my OG hat. It means a lot. Oh, man, David Chimes, I hope you're wrong. Coming next season, 5-minute major assessed to a home team of fans throw hats on the ice. Bettman relishes getting booed. I've heard some rumors that Bettman's on his way out soon. That would be interesting. Jesse Shannon, no one in the lower level throws their hats because none of them are fans. All companies and rich people that go to show face. Let the real fans in and you'll see hats fly. So, Jesse, I disagree there. I've been sitting in the lower level
probably most of the times I've went for the past several years. And I do agree that there's some of the people you're describing in the lower level. I do think there's more fans than those types of people. And it's not a Madison Square Garden situation where it's all corporate suits and whatever else. I do believe the majority of the people are legitimate fans. I just think it's a function of what many of the people in here were talking about, where like, they don't want to throw away money. I think it comes down to that more so than anything else. Puck Obo or Cousins got a fairly team-friendly contract. He goes to a contender for a first or two. Pitt needs Bailey, then returns to Pitt on even more team-friendly contract to mentor the next generation. I don't know. Oh, boy. My buddy Goody. Yo, Ace, I don't want to get you started, but the Sens are 26th in the league. Also, throw the hat, boys. You always throw the hat like you always double down on 11. Great. I don't, what do you call that, an anecdote? Always throw your hat, always double down on 11. I like it. I like that. That might be the comment of the night, my buddy Goody. Shout out to you. Puck Obo fits in pretty well for our bottom six in the offseason. I'd like to see what he could cook for a fourth liner. I like the sound of Brandon Tanner, but his contract is pretty big. I don't know what he makes. But yeah, I do think we could add a bottom six player or two, and we have some options. They have to add a bottom six guy. Cotter on the fourth line against the Caps at the most high danger scoring chances. I think Cotter's going to thrive no matter where you put him, and I think he's shown that. I'm not sure about you guys, but I've been wearing all my Devils gear so much lately. So proud of my boys. Select the boy says, forget about Crosby. I don't think it's realistic whatsoever, but I'll fantasize with some of you for a moment and talk about it. Amagi, every opportunity I'm wearing my jackets and tees when out and about. I rock Devil stuff all the time, obviously, so I'm right with you guys there. Bring back Stevens hits, Grimson fights, throwing of your hats, and defending our house. Def old school Ace, my friend. And then add rock and roll part 2 on that list, Wolf Rockin'. We'll just be the disgruntled old guys. Sid is a Penguin for life. It very well could be. If Crosby goes anywhere, I think he's going to try to go for Colorado. I said that a while back. I think that is going to be, if he does leave, that is where he will go. Traveling Devil, what's going on, my man? I wouldn't be surprised if Fitz waits till the trade deadline to pull a big move when big names are available. Seems he likes to wait for the right player. Right now, things are working out good. I agree there. I do think he might make a move for a fourth liner maybe before the deadline, because that could be had for cheaper, and there might not be as much kind of chess piece maneuvering for that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he does wait. But I do think the fourth liner might come, or he continues to ride it out, actually. I mean, he's obviously evaluating. Bowers was back in tonight. Foot out, Bowers back in. So maybe he's going to keep rotating guys, and as long as we're playing like this, maybe he doesn't see a need to pull the trigger just yet. But I'm sure he's kicking tires out there and kind of putting out feelers and seeing what's going on. Benjamin, why would you mess the chemistry of this team by adding Crosby? Why fix what isn't broken? I agree to some extent, but I also will say that anytime you have a chance to add a guy like Sidney Crosby without gutting your roster, I think it's something you have to do. It's not just like, oh, we're trying to get this big name guy. Like, he's a legend of the game, a proven winner. And assuming you wouldn't have to give up tons of pieces and mortgage the future, I would love to have Crosby. But like I said from a while ago when this first came up in the chat, I think that's kind of pipe dream stuff. But if there was ever a legitimate chance to get him, I would like to see it. I don't see how you're worse off for adding Crosby. Amagi, just got a laser pullover for my birthday, and I've been rocking that all chances I get along with the hat. Oh, Ace, I don't know if a bad comparison, but Dylan reminds me a little of Colin White. Am I tripping? I mean, I could see it. I do think Brendan Dillon is a little savvier, for lack of a better term. He's a little more savvy than Colin White. But in terms of kind of demeanor and badassery and physical and clear the crease and will drop the gloves. In that regard, he does remind me of him as well. And obviously they wear the same number. And so are they carbon copies? No, but I can see why he reminds you of him. And especially because our franchise has not had these types of defensemen for so long. And I do believe Colin White is one of the more underappreciated guys in franchise history, just because a 2-time Cup champion, again, very reliable, stay-at-home defender, heavier, edgier, more violent for sure. And he just kind of gets forgotten about amidst all of the Hall of Famers and franchise legends that were on those Cup teams. But I absolutely love Colin White, a heart and soul guy, and I could see why Dilly would remind you of him for sure in some ways, because he reminds me of him in some ways as well. Luke, Ace Fitz has connections there. The Devils have pieces to make it work. Sid wants to go to a contender. It's a win. Kachuk, too big of a cap hit and will gut us. Well, Kachuk's cap hit is essentially the same as Crosby's. In your fantasy scenario, you have Pittsburgh retaining half of it, but their contracts are very similar. Ron, letting Siegs walk is crazy. Last year was an outlier for Siegs. Siegs has been good enough. I don't hear too much about him, which is a good thing for a defensive defenseman. Yeah, exactly. But I've given him his due, I would say, in several post games. Probably the single biggest turnaround on the team. Siegs has been great this year. Him and Covey have been dynamite together. Yes, they have. Keep Siegs. He took less for us. True, finding a steadier D-man for less is difficult. Siegs is not the player to get rid of. Siegs was incredible tonight. He was getting in people's faces and stirring things up. Also, I think Brett Pesce is the best thing that's ever happened to Luke Hughes. I think you're completely correct there, Aaron. A very responsible, no kind of risk, very solid, steady defenseman in Pesce is probably the best thing to ever happen to Luke Hughes, and he will cover some of his mistakes from time to time. From Ottawa fans I've talked to, they said they want Bratt and Hamilton and a first for Kachuk. Are you talking about their idiot fans or their GM? Bratt and Hamilton and a first? That's a lot. I would love to try to give them prospects and picks and not mess with the roster. Yeah, that's a tough one. Ron, when it comes to Siegs, I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. I thought he was one of the biggest problems last year. Yeah, I fully said I was wrong about him too. I wanted him traded in the offseason. And it turned out that Ball and Marino got shipped out. Is this the Thanksgiving stream or is it Wednesday? Every doomsdayer better show up and get their lunch fed to them. Jesse, at 86 likes, the closest I've seen these post games get to 100. Smash that like button. Thank you. Please, for your New Jersey Devils and your boy, please hit the thumbs up. Hit the like. It takes 2 seconds. Thank you very much. Select the boy. Hell no, it's not worth it for Crosby. Biz left a video on Instagram about it last night. He gave more than he took. Puck Ovo and I want a unicorn that shits money. Yo, Holmes, wore my Claude Lemieux 95 Cup jersey tonight at the Rock. Very nice. I've been thinking about, so it's funny. I've talked about it before, but I basically only wear this Marty jersey that I've had for 20 some odd years. And I have a Stevens 2000 Cup jersey as well. I was thinking about adding a couple more to the mix. And one of the what I would call a legacy jersey that would be on my list for sure is a Claude Lemieux 95 white Cup jersey. It's that's a beauty of a jersey. For sure. We should have a name and shame stream regarding the Doomers who talk shit before Thanksgiving. I think most of you know who it is. I know most of you know who they are, and you know my temperament obviously is well documented on the channel in video format here. You know, I was very jacked up about this team after the moves Fitz made in the summer, and I remained optimistic throughout the little rough patches in the beginning because I believe the team is just too talented to be bad. But obviously the Doomers were out, and I appreciate those of you that were in the trenches with me fighting them. Chico, Siegs, he's found his form again. He's on a team-friendly deal. You cling to that player with both hands. I agree. I think there, unless you could get some crazy value for him in a trade, but I would obviously prefer to keep him as well. Wolf Rock in your next shirt. Why not us for the postseason? I mean, maybe. I was thinking about that. That's so far ahead, though. Merch and also merch is super annoying, but we'll see. We will see how it goes. Could see Pitt sniffing Nemitz Casey. I mean, here's the reality, right? The reality is it would almost be irresponsible, in my opinion, for the Penguins to not, in the state that they're currently in, it is irresponsible. If you were offered Shimo Nemitz and Seamus Casey, it would really be irresponsible and, quite frankly, GM malpractice to not accept that trade or a trade similar to that. Because when you're getting that much value, it's, I understand what Sid's meant to the city and blah, blah, blah. But, like, at some point, you have to realize that you're not going to go anywhere in those 2 years. Those players like that would be two big pieces towards a rebuild. And it would be wild to not take a deal like that. That Carlson trade has bit them hard, but it was a Hail Mary. Oh, man, I knew that was going to age like milk in the sun. Erik Karlsson, I think, is one of the most overrated players in NHL history. And honestly, I was furious when they gave him the Norris Trophy. On the worst team in the league, San Jose, and he was like a minus whatever he was. It was awful. And they gave him the Norris just because he had a shit ton of points. Pathetic. Said Jets fan, Devils outshot the Preds 16-3 in the third, even with the 5-minute penalty. That is absolutely ridiculous. Sheldon Keefe deserves the Adams. Oh, he'll definitely be a nominee if we play anywhere near this way for the rest of the season, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wins it. Everyone but Bowers played great. Fourth line help will be coming. I agree that fourth line help will be coming. The only question is when. Cody Skills, what a penalty kill from the boys. How will they do against the Rangers on December 2nd? I hope they are severely ready to go into war, because that is going to be wild. A wild one at the Garden. I am pumped for it, and it's crazy that the schedule makers are, made us wait almost 2 months into the season before we saw the matchup. Aaron, I got to feel bad for Saros, though. Great goalie. Guy has no help, though. We will see Saros in 4 Nations, I believe. I'm jacked up for the 4 Nations. Jack Hughes is going to be, and I guess Markstrom probably will be on Team Sweden as well as Brader. I won't begrudge Kovacevic if Toronto comes calling with a 4.5 times 5. Like, honestly, and it could even be more than that. But yeah, who knows? He's young. Like, someone might come with a $5 million by 6. I mean, I think the number I threw out earlier was 4 by 5. But it's going to be life-changing money for him, and good for him. It's unfortunate. I don't see, again, because of cap restrictions and all these other young defensemen we have, how he fits in for the Devils. I would love for him to be here. And because of his age, I honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest, I would rather keep him than one of the young guys, even the young studs. And it's going to sound crazy to some, but he's a win now guy. And win in this, not just win now, but win now and into the somewhat distant future with the core we have. His age fits perfect, and he is heavier, edgier, more violent. He does seem like a great locker room guy. And so my preference would be to keep him as well. But we'll see how that all goes down. I won't be surprised if he is, lured somewhere else with these kinds of deals that I expect will be coming his way. Ron, I forgot that you made a kid. I didn't make him throw his hat. I just strongly urged him to do it. And he did. Insane Pollock. Ace, they don't want to bring back Rock and Roll Part 2 because of the You Suck chant. The You Suck chant is awful. I don't know how it started. I guess, you know what it is? The same people screaming "You suck" are the ones that are clutching on their hats and not throwing it on the ice during a hat trick. That's it. I'm going to risk arrest. The next time I'm at a game there's a hat trick, I'm going to run down the steps and grab as many hats off of people's heads as I can and throw them all on the ice. And then say, do something about it. Puck Gobo, how do you feel if someone from here recognized you at the Rock and said hello? That happens quite often, actually. I enjoy it, as long as you're not a weirdo about it. That happens at games a lot. I've met a bunch of people in here in real life at the Rock. Tampa didn't want Stammer back. Yeah, I think they did, but they kind of played games. I think Stammer got in his feelings, and the way it all played out, he was like, screw it, I'm moving on. Boys are 5-1-0 since I started growing the stash. Nice. Yeah, once Tampa screwed him, he went for the bag. I agree with you there. Insane Pollock, it's still around with the Gaslight Anthem Ghost song, but not as prevalent as it would be if Rock and Roll 2 Part 2 was played. I wonder, yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, you can never stop it. Yeah, it's true. Saw a dude with a knockoff Wood jersey, which had the nameplate and numbers like 5 inches to the right. Oh, man. They should lean into the whole "you suck." It's part of the NJ Devils identity, whether the front office wants it or not. Queens, New York, Crosby and Letang for Palat, Hall, and Nemitz and Bastion. I can't see that happening. That might even be worse value than some of the other deals that were thrown out in terms of for Pittsburgh. I really hope Nemo doesn't turn out to be a bust. They can't afford to have another top 10 pick be a flop. I hate hearing the future is bright. The future's happening now. Again, I could not agree with this more, Jay Snow. I forget. I know you've been around for some time. I don't know exactly how long. But I've been saying the future is right now since the 22-23 season. I'm like, I don't want to hear about the future is bright anymore. The future is right now. Make it happen. I don't want to hear about windows opening in the future and the window is going to be in the next 2 years from now, for 5 years from then. The time is now. The time is now, and I think people are now starting to believe that. With, being a little more than a quarter way through the season and with this last stretch of games we've had, I think people are now starting to kind of come on board with, like, the time is now. We don't want to hear about the future. The future is right now. Martin, I'm hoping to get at least 2 cups of this core. Listen, 2 cups would be phenomenal. I will sign up for 1. I would love to win 2 and 3, but even winning 1 cup is so hard. And if they don't win at least 1 with this core of Timo, the Hughes brothers, but specifically Jack, Bratter, and Nico, it would be a damn shame. To win the draft lottery that many times and not be able to win a cup would really be an indictment on, ownership as well as multiple GMs, in my opinion. Jason, no, especially that none if our top forwards are making over $9 million. I get secondhand embarrassment when I see obvious knockoffs. Just buy a t-shirt instead if you can't afford a jersey. The funniest is seeing people with fake jerseys in the VIP clubs. I think Crosby sticks to the Pens. He knew exactly what these next few years would look like. I mean, maybe. But maybe he didn't think it would be that bad. Oh, man, I didn't see this. So sorry, Puck Gobo. Appreciate you, sir. Win or lose, we booze. Let's go. Thank you very much for the super chat. Win or lose, we booze. Victory drinks obviously always taste way better than loser beverages. And tonight, victory drinks it is across the board. Who thinks the boys can beat the Blues on Wednesday and make it a 4-game winning streak? Ryan, the man, I would assume most people in here, I'm expecting us to beat the Blues. And the 4-game winning streak before Thanksgiving with that turkey would taste so damn good. That Thanksgiving Day table. I might carve a devil logo into the turkey. Richard Zimmer, it's nice to see the home wins, especially with a 5-game homestand coming up soon. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Let's go Devils. Let's go Devils. I don't think a dude who takes an $8.7 million deal when he could have asked for 10 plus still. We're going to see. We will see. Ryan, and respect, I lost a solid hat tonight, and I'm not mad about it. I lost a solid hat as well. And I'm not mad about it either. Like I said before, I think the hat was $30-ish. I haven't felt that much excitement over essentially lighting $30 on fire as I did launching that beautiful hat onto the ice and just watching it cascade and slide across the Prudential Center ice. It was the most adrenaline I felt over something like that in quite some time. Things that money typically can't buy. And it was phenomenal. A great way to throw $30 in the air. Yo, Holmes, Dylan is a less drunk Colin White. Selected boy, I pretty much tossed my hat in the air for Nico's hat trick since I was in my house. Sean Mercer's a dog guy, gives it all every shift. I love Mercer. Glad that he, finally worked out his situation with we had a little holdout scare. Mercer giving a stick to Pesci, who lost it. Was such an awesome moment. Yeah, I forget. I think that was in the third period. Was that on the penalty kill? I forget. But yeah, Pesci lost his stick, and the rule of thumb typically is if you're a forward, you got to get and a defenseman loses a stick, you got to get him one. Kachuk cap hit is too big for Ottawa to retain, and a 25-year-old in his prime and a team trying to win now will cost a lot more than a 37-year-old on a team that has zero future. To your point, though, Luke, to your point, I do believe Brady Kachuk would cost more, but that's okay. I believe you're getting way more in him than Crosby because you have him for years and his age fits in with the core of the Devils. And so I understand what you're saying, but I would pay the premium to bring Kachuk in this fairy tale world if that was ever an option. We had the Timu version of Brendan Dillon last year and Brendan Smith. Seth, I got myself a Nico jersey, and I'm going to wear it on the December 10th game. Very nice. Can't go wrong with a Nico jersey. When younger fans ask me who they should get a jersey of, most of the time I tell them that Nico is probably your best bet. Morgan Williams, did you see that 95 cup that was tossed for Nico's Natty Hattie? I have not seen anything yet. I was at the game, and so I listened to the post game in the car on my drive on the way back, and literally came in my house, turned on all my shit, came on here. So I haven't seen anything else. I'll definitely be sure to take an in-depth look at a bunch of stuff before I record my video recap of the game that'll go live in the morning. But wow. What's the deal with our losses this month all being shutouts? I think it's just a function of, Vasilevsky's a very good goalie. We came up short, and maybe we used all of our energy up in Sunrise with those Panthers games before that one. And then the Mac Black revenge. I mean, Mac Black was just out for total revenge, and he had a career game. 40-something saves. Walt, got to bail and get to work writing lyrics. Maybe name a song Woodson and make it about complaining 24/7, 365. Oh, man, that's hilarious. Jesse, 2 likes away from 100. Let's go, boys. Smash that thumbs up. Thank you very much, Jesse. You always look out for me. Please hit the thumbs up. Hit the like for your boy. The Devils are just starting to find their way on this young 24-25 NHL season that I'm hoping we are here in May and June doing this exact thing after games. The Art of Pimpin' just got a Nemitz jersey, no trade. Oof. Rich Reynolds, Zetterlund just got his 9th of the season. Always liked him and his hardworking style of play. I did like Zetterlund as well. I thought he could have been a good player for us, but again, you got to give to get, and you're not just getting Timo Meyer for nothing. Yo, Holmes, yeah, Rich Zetterlund was a dandy. Hated to lose him, just like Yegor. The Sharon Govich. Will you be streaming for the Four Nations? Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing something with Four Nations. Obviously, probably very USA-centric, but I'll be talking about the other stuff as well because I do think at a minimum we will have Jack Hughes on USA and Bratter and Markstrom on Team Sweden. And I think there's a chance. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the projections if Haula, what are the likelihoods of Haula getting on Finland? But I do believe that Jack, Bratter, and Markstrom are definitely in the tournament. 101 likes. My work here is done. I'm out like a fat kid in dodgeball. Let's go, Devils. Thank you, Jesse. Take care. Give Covey I guess that's $3 million for 8 years. I don't know if that gets it done, Luke. I would obviously do that in a heartbeat, but I feel like teams are going to offer him 4 to 5. Another super, Brendan Warner. Devils are the real deal. We can win the championship if we keep playing this way. Thanks for the shirts, Ace. Love from Seattle. Thank you very much, Brendan. Appreciate you. Appreciate the super chat. I'm glad you like the shirts. Thank you for ordering. And I do believe they are the real deal, guys. I've said this from the summer. I don't know why. I guess maybe it is my delusional optimism. I don't know what it is, but I've told everyone since the summer, after Fitz went on the rampage and got all these guys, he got Markstrom and got Dylan and got Pesci and got Kovacevic and got Cotter and got Nason. I was like, we still have all the main core pieces of the 22-23 team that set the franchise record in points with 112, beat the Rangers in a 7-game series, and made it to the second round before we got handled by Carolina. But in my opinion, this is a better version of that team. And so when you saw what that team was capable of doing, granted, it was kind of a breakout year for the Devils. We caught a lot of teams by surprise and all that, fine. But you don't get to that level of success and still have all the main pieces without the potential being there still. And with the improved guys, it wasn't a fluke. And a lot of people were trying to say, oh, it was a fluke and blah, blah, blah. It was not. It was not. We did catch teams by surprise. But I firmly believe this is a real deal team. I do believe they can win a championship. I'm not saying they are, but my preseason prediction was that they win 2 rounds in the playoffs and make it at a minimum to the conference finals. And I am not shying away from that whatsoever. I do believe they will do it. And especially if they stay healthy and primarily stay healthy, obviously, is the biggest thing, but staying healthy is huge. And as long as they continue to play the way they are right now, everyone sticks to their roles. I don't see why not us. That's what I'm just going to keep going to. Why not us? But thank you very much, Brendan. Appreciate that. That's slander. I hate the "you suck" chant, but I also don't throw my hat. All right, so you're 1-1 tonight, Chico. You're on the good side of the Amagi, I love the "you suck" chant, but I hate when it's chanted when we score while down like 3 or 4 goals. Chill out, crap. Oh, you can't have it both ways, Amagi. If you want to be an immature child and yell "you suck," just know it's happening after every goal. You can't apply situational awareness to it. Wolf Rockin' had a Gilmore jersey, home white back in the day. Oh, number 93, Dougie Gilmore. I was super jacked when we got him too. Just another one of the many Hall of Famers to pass through the New Jersey Devils franchise at some point of their careers. Cool. I was just asking in case I encountered you, just checking about. No, that's funny. I'm a friendly guy. You can always come up and say hello to me, to anyone who's interested in doing something like that. Select the boy. The time is now. Morgan Williams. I can see Fitz talking Kovacevic into a bridge 2 to 3 years. Trading from him and giving him his shot can help in talks, building up a larger resume and a contender, especially with the cap due to jump. There's no chance, guys. Morgan, there's no chance. There's no such thing as a bridge when you're Johnny Kovacevic. This is career payday. This is securing the bag 101. There is no bridge. He's getting his money this summer, and it'll either be from the Devils or someone else. When's his birthday? See. Yeah, he's 27 and he'll be turning 28 this July. There's no bridge. He's getting paid this summer. Luke, the time is 100% right now. Yes, it is. Anson, just saw the crowd got Nico choked up in his post-game interview on the ice. Were you in on that Nico chant? Of course I was in on that Nico chant. I love the post-game interviews on the ice. I was in on the Nico chant from my seats. I have a cool I got a lot of footage. So, yeah, I guess tomorrow I'm aiming, all this stuff takes so much time. But I'm aiming to have my vlog, the vlog of tonight's game that I attended, will probably come out tomorrow afternoon. And then my usual game recap video will come out in the morning like it always does. Select the boy, for real, enough with the future is bright foolishness. The future is win now. 100%. 100%. I don't know the origin, and I know shady guy Ric Flair, but I love the woo we do in a way. It kind of fits us. I don't know how the older Devils fans feel about it. I don't mind it. The only reason why I don't like it is because I saw other teams do it first and we kind of ripped it off. So to me, it's kind of like unoriginal and cheesy, but it is what it is. I don't have a strong feeling about it like I do about the "you suck." The "you suck" is terrible. And St. Pollock, it's not as prevalent as with Rock and Roll Part 2. If Rock and Roll Part 2 happened, the arena would shake with how loud it would be. I'm curious now. I don't know if you said that before or someone else did. I'd be curious to know what the overall reception would be if the song was ever played again. I feel like more people than not would not know what it is. I think in the long run, we are a better team for years if we ship Hamilton while at his highest value. I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I'd rather have Covey, Hughes, and Casey for years. Listen, I like Dougie. I don't know how much of an unpopular opinion that would be, though. Just because of how much money he makes, I think a lot of people would say he would be the defenseman to move on from because of the amount of money he makes. Amagi, I've seen a bazillion people talking about the 95 cup hat thrown. Was that thing on the broadcast or something? It's going to be an element of Devils history at this point. It must have been. I haven't seen anything yet. But I have to imagine it was on TV because most of these people, if it wasn't mentioned on TV, would probably not even know what the 95 cup hat was unless they were examining it up close. Evan, we are building a sustainable team. What a great game to be at, Ace. I believe we are. I do believe we are. It should be in win now mode, and the next 4 or 5 years, based on the contracts we have signed, should be pretty promising as well. Ace does marathon streams with us, Tommy. Oh, still live. Yeah, we're still live, man. These are marathons. I've waited so long for the Devils to be relevant, and there's so many other people I think that have been waiting so long for the Devils to be relevant that we do marathons. Wolf Rock and Ace, you have to throw some hats at the camera for Nico's hat trick. Should be a new tradition, my friend. The boys are absolutely on fire. Wolf, don't give away all my secrets, bro. I'm assuming you saw the Jesper one. I mean, some of it's got to be a surprise, but obviously, I'm going to do that in the video that comes out tomorrow. Tommy, happy birthday. A nice win from the Devils on my birthday. Happy birthday to you, sir. Happy birthday. And those shutouts, the Devils just weren't creating any high danger chances. The one area the Devils, I think, will improve will be 5-on-5 offense. I can see that. So are they doing Four Nations this year in place of the All-Star game? Yeah. Yep. They're doing the Four Nations face-off instead of the All-Star game. The All-Star game format, in my opinion, got super stupid in the last few years. It just got cheesy with the gimmicks. And so I'm so glad we're doing the best on best. What do we got here? Richard Zimmer, thank you very much, sir, for the super chat. There is no message here, so I have to look. I'm assuming you had a message somewhere. Appreciate you, Richard. Thank you very much. I'm looking to see here if you have a message. There's got to be one somewhere. This thing sucks. Nico is a dog. Preds were the prey tonight. 100% agree on Covey. He's going for the bag, and he's right to. Who knows how many years he's got left in the league, especially with how heavy he plays. Hopefully he gets every penny he can. He's earned. Yeah, it's his career payday. This is it. The prime of his career. He's 27. This is his free agency splash. So he's going to get 20+ million and set himself up for life. Good for him, man. Richard, wow. Bro, buying you a new hat. The Preds are a massive disappointment this season. Ace's Hat Fund renew bottle of Dirty Devil Vodka. Cheers to you, Richard. Thank you very much. I will be replacing my hat and the Dirty Devil Vodka. Look for I'll always be getting replacements to that, and I'll be getting some cool merchandise, I think, from them to give away to some of you guys. Dirty Devil, maybe T-shirts or hats, as well as bottles of the actual product. Oh, my man, Riot and Respect. Thank you very much, sir. I completely agree. In a head-to-head, this team beats the team that lost to Carolina in round 2, has me very excited. Oh, I would love to get revenge on them, get a little payback, but it would be scary. If we match up with them in the playoffs, it is a little scary because of, obviously the history, and they've had our number. But, that game a couple days ago is a kind of breath of fresh air. But I do believe they are a playoff war team. And it would be an exciting, series. And I do believe we could take them out. But it will be nerve-wracking for sure. But that's the playoffs. I still believe the Hurricanes and the Panthers are the two of the better teams in the league, and obviously in the Eastern Conference. But I would love to get revenge on them, and it would be exciting to match up against them in the playoffs again. But thank you very much, Ryan, and respect. Really appreciate it. Jay Snow, Max, did you get a date with Brooke yet? What is that about? Who is Brooke? Been waiting for this shit since the summer. I need to know what's going on. What is this? Ha ha ha, Max. No, I'm a happily engaged man that can pull still, apparently. I need to know what this is about. Preds thought they were closer than they are. Reality is they got carried by Soros last season. They probably should have bit the bullet and started rebuilding. Well, obviously they went the opposite way. Barry Trotz loaded up the choppers, went out on a spending bonanza, and it doesn't seem to be working. Do you think that's her real picture? What are you guys talking about? Max and Jay Snow, I need to know what you guys are talking about. Oh, yeah, I saw you spit in game. Wolf Rockin', sorry if you answered this, Ace, but do you know Mark Bowman? Oh, you're talking about Bauman. Bauman, Baumann. I don't know him. I've talked to him on several occasions, and I've been meaning to reach out to him for a couple things. But I don't know him, but obviously I know who he is. Some of my earliest memories of seeing the Devils play at the old arena was Bauman doing the give me a D, give me an E, give me a V, give me an I, give me an L. Classic. Legendary figure in Devils history. I wanted to have him on the show and just bullshit with him, but I don't know. A lot of you youngins would probably flame me and be like, oh, look at these two old guys talking about the glory days. Ace, don't worry about it. Not worth a breath. I think I'm embarrassing Max. Oh, I need to know. I don't know what's going on here, but I need to know. Hasn't that guy been doing the give me the D chants in like the 80s? Respect to that OG. Total OG. Luke, you're not saying 8 million times 3 years, correct? You're saying 8 years times 3 million, and we're talking about Kovacevic. I just want to make sure we're talking about the same thing. Yeah, a lot of old school heads in here tonight. Oh, you guys are funny. Ryan, respect. Seeing Nico's reaction to his chance tonight, that is a man who puts his heart and soul into this, truly cares. I agree. That's why I love Nico. I do think he is a good captain, even though he's a different captain. And it took me some time to wrap my head around that as well. He's not the same type of leader as, a Scott Stevens or some of these other guys, but he's still a leader. And I do think Nico is the man. I absolutely love Nico, and I think we're lucky to have him as a player and as a captain of this team. Oh, I'll go at anyone disrespecting the chat guy. Who's the chat guy? The guy sat through some rough years screaming his head off the whole time. He's my hero. I guess are they talking about Bauman? I'm a youngin', and I think taking a chance for us young ones to meet the older ones is great. Focusing just on the newer Devils is a major disservice in general. I think everyone just has a different opinion. Just depends, A lot of the young people don't care about the old stuff. Some people do take an interest in both. Luke, 8 years, $3 million a year. Oh yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat too, but I just don't see it happening. I think someone offers him. I hope I'm wrong. I hope he's here, and I hope, like I said, I would prefer to keep him over some of the young stud defensemen, if I'm being honest. Heavier, edgier, more violent. They don't grow on trees. Shut down defender is the right age to fit with our core. I am not super fixated on the future. And the future, like I said, the future is now in my book. So a guy like him, I would love to keep Kovacevic around if at all possible. Seems like the Devils are getting it together at home. It seems that way. RA, oh man, is that a Walter photo? You see what happens? You see what happens, Larry? Do you see what happens? I think that's a Walter. Is it Sobchak? Am I saying his name right? I'm pretty sure that's what that photo is. I believe one of my college football teammates is engaged to Bauman's niece. What kind of crazy 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon shit is going on in here? I'd hope every guy wearing a Hughes jersey knows what a Nieuwendyk and a Langenbrunner is. Oh, that's definitely not the case. And I'd be willing to wager large sums of cash on that. That many people wearing Hughes jerseys have no idea who Nieuwendyk or Langenbrunner are. 2 OG legends. I meant the chant guy. Okay. Ace, when you having a live event? I have to figure it out, but I told people to email me. I got like a handful of emails. I don't know. I'm still trying to wrap my head around this whole thing. If I do it, I suppose I would just announce it like way in advance so people knew. But I just don't know if people even want something like that. I know some people do, but like, is there really is it a thing? I don't know. I'll figure it all out. This is the first year every single game Nico doesn't look like he's constantly in pain. Yeah, he did have a lot of those wincing faces last year. But winning cures everything. Jay Snow, have an event at a bar like a watch party. I think that's what I was leaning towards. And probably an away game, I would imagine. Chico, if money weren't an issue, I'd keep Covey and make the young D-man earn a spot by kicking him out of the lineup, and you could always trade him, but otherwise keep him. Plus, Old Devils, Stevens crushing Kozlov and staring down the all-star Detroit bench, telling them they are next was the next freaking level cool. Oh, man. That Scott Stevens moment is all-time. Absolutely all-time, and just the look in his face. There must have just been just absolute fear and paranoia just running down the bodies of the Red Wings players. Jay Snow finally got some guys who aren't going to take shit from anybody. Yeah. Heavier, edgier, more violent, baby. That's what the movement's about. That is what the movement is about, and you saw it tonight. Listen, once, you're going to push us to a certain point, and then we're going to do ugly things. Going to do ugly things, and Timo might knock your teeth down your throat. It all could happen. Luke, Covey also helped Sieg's great pair shop Nemitz Casey to replace Hamilton. Are you saying to shop Nemitz and Casey? I feel like they're probably killing Nemitz's trade value. I mean, they still have value. I would love to keep both of them. I just don't see how timeline-wise it all works out, because we just have so many defensemen. Friesen, you spelled it wrong, but Friesen, Madden. Oh, Max must have read the Devils history book somewhere. Amagi, how can you not care about the history of the Devils where we got our legacy of cups? Wild to me. I just feel like that's the modern day children, or a lot of people just don't care. I always would want to know, but I could see how people don't. I mean, I think you've seen it. I think people have bashed me for talking about the glory days and different things. It took me a bit to get over how it ended with Langs, but I love the guy again. Devils legend for sure. Love Jamie Langenbrunner. Absolute stud. Tied with Scott Niedermayer in the 0-3 playoffs for the most points on the team. Eventually was a captain of Team USA for the Olympics. I mean, Langenbrunner is an OG legend. Pandolfo, for sure, another underrated guy. Covey is also a young 27, not a lot of miles on those skates for sure. A live event when we win the cup, baby. My bro, here's another Kevin Bacon, 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. My friend's brother's cousin's sister brother dated Gomez. Oh, boy. Bauman, did you know he got free games from the organization for doing that chant? He was on the ice when they raised the banner after 95 as well. So jealous. That's pretty cool. I wonder if chat has taken win or lose, we booze very literally now. I mean, it is pretty literal. This is a real bottle of Dirty Devil vodka that I'm drinking. Of course, Nico made those faces last year. Imagine to take a dump during a game. Oh boy. Max, Ace, time's running out. Are you going to MSG jail or not? I still have another week, I think, right? I'm thinking about maybe going with some of my Ranger fan friends as the most likely way to not go to jail. But I don't know. I do enjoy watching it at home too. Like even at the game tonight, I was having a great time. But there is certain amenities of being at home that I do really enjoy. But I do love going to games, especially at the Garden. The Garden's it's just a great experience. Stevens had that killer look, those eyes, man. NJ Devils personified. Scotty Stevens was just to be a Devils fan at the time of Scott Stevens. It was just, oh my God. It's just words can't describe. And honestly, the videos don't even do it justice because to live through the moment, just like, I could appreciate a lot of things I didn't live through. Like, this is a random example, but I like music a good amount. And I would say for anyone who's into music, look up videos of the Beatles playing at Shea Stadium. I think it was 1969. Just complete pandemonium at the height of the Beatles' heyday. Like, it was so crazy. I think at one point, I think it was Lennon couldn't hear that they were playing the music on like the shitty speaker system in the stadium. And like all the chicks screaming were so loud he couldn't hear and he was getting frustrated. So he was just like smashing the keyboard with his elbows. But like, it's a very cool video I watched. And it was like, I could appreciate this, but like, I can't imagine how I would feel about it had I lived through it. No, I'm not that old. I'm just saying, just something before your time. So the Beatles are before my time. That's just the analogy I thought of. So for the young people that are watching the Steven stuff, it's just something before your time. So you could appreciate the video, but living through it is a different level. Oh man, ZZ Pops. Whew. ZZ Pops. What a line. Jamie Langenbrunner, Zach Parisi, Travis Zajac. Phenomenal stuff. Phenomenal stuff. I'm just saying names that new gen fans won't know. Oh yeah, any names from that era they won't know. Any name that's not on a banner in the rafters they won't know. Luke, Shop Nemitz, use Casey to replace Hamilton. This is why calls are much easier. Feel like I'm back. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how to do the software to do the call so that I don't have to blare it on my speaker and shake my block. Tailgate party when we win the cup. I wonder what would happen if just a shitload of people showed up for something random and tailgated. That would be interesting. That'd be super interesting. Chico, Devils history. I must have spent hours on YouTube and Wikipedia as a kid looking up old Devil stats and clips. Don Lever, the first captain, Mel Bridgman, Kirk Muller, Alain Chevrier, Pat Verbeek. Oh, yeah, you're going back to the way, way back. Respect. You have a lot of tools at your disposal to do research. I think Nemitz will be a good player, but nowhere near elite. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. I think he's going to be very good, but if a deal comes along where, like I said, you could get something substantial, you have to really think about it. I love tailgating. That's the one thing that sucks about The Rock. Yeah, for sure. The biggest loss to me was as soon as I knew, they were moving there, I knew that the tailgating was done. Bobby Holik, another two-time Cup champ legend. The Insane Pollock. Ace, I doubt you could do it without laughing, but how about doing a post-game video a la Dangle style where you talk to yourself in the third person? I don't know if that's for me. And I don't watch any of his shit, so I know he does I don't know. I saw one thing that last year when he was talking smack about whatever Marty said about the goalies. But I don't know. I let him do his whatever shtick he has going on. Imagine playing against Scott Stevens. No, I can't. Man, look at Chico out for blood tonight. Look at those Gray's hair, man. Of course he's ancient. Damn, bro. Imagine the amount of trim the Beatles got. No, I absolutely cannot. Insane, off the chart levels. Ace remembers the first NHL season. My buddy Goody. I just want to say I've been waiting for a Devils postgame YouTube channel like this. There are others out there that do many different styles of videos. No disrespect to them, but this is better. Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like there's not a lot of anything for the Devils, and it's unfortunate. I remember when I was a kid, I just wanted to consume Devils information and whatever I could find, and there wasn't a lot. And it was basically, pre-internet. There was Rich Scher writing in the Star Ledger, and even recently, and even current day, it's like, what do the Devils really have? Like, we have nothing, and it sucks. Hopefully, in time, it's just we're still a young fan base overall, and hopefully we get better stuff as time goes on. I don't know, but I appreciate that, my buddy Goody. I really appreciate comments like that, so thank you. Wolf, I'm in on the Rags gaming for going. Absolutely love Scotty. Look up the Grateful Dead as well, guys. Jerry was a master on the guitar. Oh man, there's a lot of kids in here that probably never even heard of the Grateful Dead. Wolf, Amagi, are you talking to me with this? Was I at the 2014 Stadium Series game? Is that a question to me or someone else, or is that Max? Obviously, I was at the Stadium Series game. Come on now. Puck Gobo, that's why I also like our new, heavier, edgier, more violent. We're named the Devils. The old Devils lived up to that, and that is beyond freaking cool. Oh, the old Devils had the mix of everything. And that's why I've said multiple times, this season, that to me, this team is the closest thing to that team. And again, I will right away say, I'm not saying they are that team. That team, those teams had the greatest goaltender of all time, the great Martin Brodeur. And then Scott Niedermayer and Scott Stevens are two of the greatest defensemen of all time. So to have two of the greatest defensemen of all time and the greatest goalie of all time, you can never replicate that level of players. But in terms of just stripping it down to good goaltending with good defense and a mixture of skill forwards and gritty guys, the roster we have now does remind me of some of those Cup teams with just those different elements. My first game ever was Game 6 against Ottawa Eastern Conference Final. Had locker room passes because my uncle knew Dano's manager, met Marty, and played knee hockey with his kids, win the Cup that year. I'm hooked. Yeah, that's all it takes. That is all it'll take, Max. Jay Snow, no tailgating. I don't go to that many games of the Rock, and it sucks when it gets super cold out. Yeah, for sure. I wish Tom Fitz talks more. You only hear him like twice a year. I'm just scanning. I lost my spot. My friend said it was ice cold at Yankee Stadium. Oh, so the Yankee Stadium Stadium Series game was substantially colder than the MetLife Stadium game last year. And I guess I learned my lesson from it. I learned some tips, some tricks of the trade to help me better prepare. But in my opinion, it was much colder at the Yankee Stadium game. But like I said, I did take some takeaways that I learned to better prepare for the next time around. But they were both cold, but the Yankee Stadium one was way colder. People's beers and drinks were freezing in the cups in the stands. Like, I think at one point some of the beers on tap they were coming out like Slurpees at Yankee Stadium. And then I saw people's beers literally freezing in the cup pretty quickly in the stands. I'm Philly fans are by far the grimiest fans. I'm not saying you, Max. Luke, that's why the channel is popular. There's zero Devils coverage. Even the Rags get next to no hype. It's just a shame that hockey, and I don't know how they fix it, right? I've thought about this forever, and I was like, I'm going to try to work for the NHL, and I would love to be in marketing and make hockey more popular. And, like, I do think there's things that could be done for, the league as a whole, as well as specific teams that they don't do. But the reality is, the concept of hockey is just so foreign to so many people. Because they don't go outside and play it as a kid. Like to go, soccer is like the biggest sport, I think, globally. And it's like, all you need is this ball. You go outside and you kick it around. Like, okay. And even basketball to some extent, you don't need, there's basketball courts everywhere. Baseball, football. And so hockey will always be, kind of last place to these other sports. But I've introduced several of my friends to hockey, and they're like, and even again, kind of pushing on them again recently. And one of my buddies is like borderline obsessed now. He was sending me texts. He's like, oh my God. Like after Timo crushed the guy, he was like, this Timo guy's an animal. He's like, oh my God, he's like, hockey players are so much tougher than football players. Just like, if people really give the game a chance, it is an amazing game. And I don't know why and I understand the disconnect because people don't play it. But like in the end, how many of the people at any given game like seriously played any of these sports anyway? It has to be a super small percentage. I don't know. Chico, I think as a unit in its prime, the Devils had the best defense ever assembled in hockey history. You obviously had the Scots, but also Rafalski and a very underrated D-man in White and Dano. Oh yeah, for sure. Just having the two Scots right away as two of your six defensemen when two of them are, at worst, what would they be? Top 25 defensemen of all time. So if you have two of the top 25 defensemen of all time, even if your other defensemen were kind of whack, your overall defensive unit would have to be good. But no, fully agree. Rafalski and Colin White, in my opinion, are two of the most underrated guys, in Devils history, along with guys like Madden and Pando as well, just because of all the star-studded names we had when we were winning those cups. But those Devils defenses definitely have to be amongst at least some of the best defenses in NHL history. I don't disagree, but not all fans fit that bill. But as it is for everything, all it takes is one fan to ruin it all. Colin White is probably a number one defensive D-man on almost any other NHL team in his prime. Dano's fighting kind of overshadows just how good defensively he was. Well, his fighting kind of dialed down in the later years because we had other guys to do that. But Dano and White are just two reliable stay-at-home defensemen that'll play a very physical game, clean the crease up, smash guys when they need to, drop the mitts. And those are old-school throwback hockey guys. And that's why I love Brendan Dillon so much. Someone mentioned it before that Brendan Dillon reminded them of Colin White. And I said, in regards of being a total throwback and just absolute animal, absolutely. For an event, just pick a road game, preferably a Thursday or Friday night game. Pick a bar, do your setup, and people will show up. All the Devils grips do it. Crazies, Brat Pack. I don't know what any of these things are. What is Crazies, Brat Pack? I know Brat Pack is like a Twitter thing. Amagi, it's a shame Satan's wallpaper couldn't hold the line at Yankee Stadium back then. Yeah, and in some ways, it almost was like that first Stadium Series game was almost reminiscent or symbolic of like the end of Marty almost. He got pulled. Schneider came in, and it was just kind of a sad kind of thing. It's a shame we couldn't have won that game. Not that it really mattered that much. It was a regular season game, but non-hockey people saying that they can't find the puck. Yeah, that's pretty lame. If you can't find the puck, then don't watch sports. I remember when I finally got into hockey, it was crazy realizing how boring soccer was in comparison. Yeah. Nobody cares about hockey, Boomer. Oh man, I remember that on the old WFAN mornings. I used to listen to WFAN a lot in the morning years ago when I would drive to a job that I had. And they would always bust anytime hockey came up. Shout out to Boomer though. He always tried to interject. He's a big Rangers guy, and I know his I'm pretty sure his daughter's married to Matt Martin, which is kind of funny. I worked at a hockey store for 3 years and I became a Devils fan 4 years after quitting that job. Very ironic. That is pretty ironic indeed. You didn't become a hockey fan while working at the store? It's interesting. How did you become a fan of Maggie? I'm curious about that. I'm just happy the Devils have their own arena and it's not empty most nights. Have a very good fan base, great TV contract, and stable ownership. Many years of none of those things. Yeah, very true. And obviously, after the 1995 Cup, the then owner, John McMullen, was threatening to move the team to Nashville, which was, I don't think he ever really wanted to do it, but I think it was just a ploy to try to get the New Jersey Sports Entertainment, the NJSEA, to give him favorable terms for whatever he was trying to do. Max, did you get a towel at that Ottawa Eastern Conference Final game? I still have mine. Oh, man, I have a shit ton of playoff towels all over the place. White was a beast until he lost sight in one of his eyes. His kid played hockey with my friend's kid in New Providence. Yeah, Whitey was the man. Hockey versus soccer. The main thing that gets me about soccer is how obviously crooked the whole thing is. Hockey refs have unfortunately started to catch up in the last decade, though. Luke, Marty never should have started the Stadium Series game, but how do you sit, bro? You have to start him. He's got to start that game. When hockey was red hot, Mike and Mad Dog wouldn't even cover it. I was never a big fan of Mike and the Mad Dog. I did like Boomer and Carton, though. Amagi, I took my boys to a Devils game just for a hangout. Game went into OT. Devils won. It was a bonkers experience. I was a big-ish Eagles fan, and I hated how the Eagles-Chiefs game had turned out. Especially with the weak call at the end, decided to look into hockey and fell in love. It's a beautiful story. All right, this is now, you guys already know, there's a good amount of you still here, so I'm not going anywhere long term, but it is time for your boy to use the facilities to take a pee-pee break. I'll be back in 2 minutes, and I will start the closing up procedures. I'm in no hurry, so I look forward to seeing whatever comments you guys throw out here. You guys want to fucking wash your hands. Whatever comments you throw out here, and I will start the wind down process. Cheers to us. Cheers to your New Jersey Devils. What an absolute beautiful outing. And I'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna take this 2 minute this 2 minute facilities break. I'll be right back. Whoa. Getting all tripped up here. Whew. Wow, it's a pretty sick hat I bought. I do like this. This is some of that Jetty brand, the South Jersey Shore. I like that. Some cool stuff. I don't do well with white hats, though. This thing's going to look like absolute garbage soon. Luke McMullen came as close as you can come, and he didn't get what he wanted. He wanted Hoboken. MSG helped block that through the Port Authority. I think Hoboken would have been a disaster traffic wise too. And then maybe I may have been forced to embrace public transportation. Public transportation there's not many things I hate in life more than public transportation. The New York Rangers and their fans would be something I hate more than public transportation, but I honestly hate Newark, guys. I'm not going to lie. I dread driving there is a pain. The whole thing's a pain, and no tailgating sucks. But I wish one day if I ever win God, I would love to win the Powerball for so many reasons. I'm sure all of us are in that boat. We'd all love to win the Powerball. But if I won the Powerball, I would 100% try to buy the biggest piece of land that was like walking distance to the Rock and just bulldoze it and just make it like a huge tailgating area. Nothing would make me happier. Vanderbeek mismanaged, but he got us a stadium. Thank you, Mayor Sharp James. Amagi, did I tell you about my nuts 2014 Stadium Series jersey score? I remember you told me about it, and I think, was it an Elias jersey or you were going to customize it to Elias? I forget. But Elias is definitely a great guy to put on it. I mean, I would only personally, I think I'm trying to think. If I had to customize a Stadium Series jersey, I'm a Marty guy, so I would go Marty. But you know, I also like Patty. Obviously, Patty Elias would be one. I could understand if someone wanted a Zajac jersey. I think a Zajac, a very long tenured, New Jersey Devil, Zajac. And then if you're just going for like a nostalgia kind of, just to be a little different, I think a Yager Stadium Series jersey would be pretty cool as well. The Insane Pollock, I'm glad you got that, AC. Of course, yeah, it was iconic hearing that on the fan when Boomer would bring up the Rags. Him and Recco still go at it, especially for the Devils Rags games. Yeah, no one cares about hockey, Boomer. Wolf, Dr. McMullen, the father of the Devils for sure. Not a lot of people know about Dr. Mac, but obviously the absolute father of the Devils, and none of us would be in this this live stream right now if it was not for Dr. John McMullen. Newark sucks. Why'd they pick Newark? Yeah, I don't know. Luke, I love Newark. Train and bus, plenty of bars. Hoboken would have been a much nicer setup, but would suck for me. Yeah, I had it customized to Elias, made in Canada, brand New Jersey, size 54. Got off a dude for 50. Still can't believe it. I was gonna get Marty originally, but got 2 All-Star Martys already. That makes sense. Man, that is a steal, man. Congrats to you. What a pickup. That wasn't 2 minutes, and I thought we were being visited by an apparition when you moved the camera. No, I realized that the that beautiful Stanley Cup neon was not in focus. It was cut off a little bit, and I was like, I can't disrespect the cup like that. I don't know how the hell I did that. I was messing around with something the other day, and I guess it cut it off a little bit. Sir, I can respect Andy Green too. I would put him in the same category as Zajac. You know, long tenured Devil, never got to the promised land of winning a cup, but very serviceable, long-time Devils. And both were part of that 2012 Cup Finals team that unfortunately couldn't get it done against the Kings. But I do love Andy Green and Zajac. Max, looking at Newark, ew, the city is disgust. Oh, that arena is very nice. Amagi, I felt bad because the guy literally needed gas money, but he was so happy when I told him my plans for it, since he was afraid someone would buy it for a super profit on flipping it. Oh, my God. I mean, listen, sometimes someone else hard, down on their luck could be a blessing for you. And I'm glad that, you got it. That's an insane steal. $50 for a $50 for a made in Canada, any jersey is a friggin' steal. But, a Stadium Series, that's a beautiful, beautiful pickup. Anyone have anything else on this beautiful night? What a night. Captain Nico Heischer's first career hat trick. He gets a natural hat trick, ripping off 3 goals in the second period. My God, I was so glad I was there to witness it. I would be super upset had I not followed through with my plans from earlier in the day. Earlier in the day, I was telling myself, I'm going tonight. I just have a good feeling about it. I want to be there. I think now I probably, I guess some other random things that occurred throughout the day helped urge me in that direction as well, because I really did want to get to one of these next two games, meaning the game tonight and the one against the Blues. And I think I'm going to have a bunch of crap to do Wednesday night before Thanksgiving. So I was like, this is the night to go. Let me just go. And I was rewarded for my trip to the Rock, man. New Jersey Devils. The New Jersey Devils are now winners of 3 in a row, 5 of the last 2, whipping up on the Predators 5-2. The captain with a natural hat trick. Timo breaking some teeth. Anyone smelled the burned popcorn in Newark? Also just hilarious Stadium Series jersey, since apparently Lou just straight up didn't want a New Jersey for the Devils, so just the red-green rerun. Yeah, Lou was obviously very much a traditionalist, blocked a lot of things. I'm sure that anyone who worked for the marketing team at any point during the Lou era probably hated him, because he was very hands-on and would kibosh pretty much anything anyone ever tried to do, including, third jerseys forever. He was super against it. And yeah, during that Stadium Series that we played the Rangers, they had like this cool, like metallic kind of crest, I believe. And we just had to go with just basically an old retro jersey. Oh, I'm checking something. I'm trying to figure out how many 2-goal games Nico had. I'd imagine it was at least 10. No, it's not an easy thing to find out at the moment. People rip on Newark, but give Chicago and Detroit. Max, Newark is super convenient for me. When I'm driving home from Boston, it's right along the way home to Philly. Just have to time it correctly with NY and Connecticut traffic, which are both brutal. Absolutely brutal. Actually, next time we get out of the train, I'm going to pretend I'm the guy from the 2008 New Jersey Devils intro. Need to get the big fork and smash it into the ground. What's the 2008 intro? Ace, what a stretch for the Devils is a gauntlet of teams. Yeah, I mean, the Devils shined the brightest in the biggest stretch of the season for sure. Playing the defending Cup champs, Panthers, at home twice in a row, which is super weird in itself. Tampa Bay, which obviously we took that loss. Carolina back at home, Washington on the road, and then back at home against the bad Preds team. But wow. Yeah, I'm going to try to figure this out before I release my video for the morning. I haven't figured it out yet, but I will try to include that in my video that releases in the morning. Just thinking about the teams we had to play and how tough the schedule's been, you got to feel good about the boys right now. I couldn't feel better. Our schedule was insane. We had like 2 practices in the first month of the season with coming back from Prague. The schedule was nuts. Absolutely nuts. Connecticut, the traffic state. Select the boy. I have an idea for the Devils' third jersey. We put the logo on the front, all white with the red shadow line, and the jersey on the shoulder sleeves of the arms. That's interesting. Simon, what a run in general. Come back after so much suffering. I really pray we keep going. This team is going to be good, guys. It's not a fluke. You don't go through that stretch of games with the results we've had. That doesn't happen by accident, right? And like I keep saying, this team is a better version of the 22-23 team, and you saw what that team did. And it starts with Markey and net, and a better defense. Ball and Marino upgraded for Pesci and Dillon. We got Kovacevic. I mean, it's just crazy. And then the bottom six with Nason and Cotter. The sky is the limit for this group, and I am very, very pumped to see what they do come playoff time. I believe it's going to be a very, very dangerous playoff team, and not a lot of teams are going to want to have to play the Devils, because especially if Markey can stay hot, the Devils have a variety of ways of beating you. They can score the gritty goals. They could do the fancy high-flying goals if you want to go down the pond hockey route. And the Devils, like I said, not one-dimensional anymore. Heavier, edgier, more violent. Real goaltending is obviously an X factor. And I'm just jacked up, guys. Super pumped about this team. And like I said, I hope I am here doing these in June, or doing them from somewhere in June. I am, depending on where it is. If the Devils do make the Cup Finals, I would love to go to every game, home and away. That's a crazy aspiration. I don't know if it'll be possible or not, but only fear would be the dreaded injury plague that has hit this team for the last 10 plus years. Yeah, that's the only thing. Obviously, knock on wood, staying healthy is the biggest variable in all of this. And if they stay fairly healthy, I feel good. And we still have some depth, right? Obviously, any injuries to major players is going to suck no matter what your team is. But there is some definite depth on defense. And, they just got to keep it going. Max, the answer was 15 multi-goal games before tonight. Wow, 15. Yeah, I said, what did I say before? At least probably a dozen. So, yeah, I'm not surprised. 15, so in his 16th game with 2 goals, he gets the hat trick. Yeah, 15. See, that's kind of wild. You would think in 15 tries, he would have found a way to get the third. But I bet you of those 15 goal games, there's probably at least 3 or 4 that the second goal was probably an empty net. So, but still, it's an amazing stat. Sending you the link on X. Thank you, sir. I'll definitely check that out. Puck Obo, if in June and we've done well, would you stream outside? Barbecue stream. Maybe. If they make it to the Cup Finals, oh my God. I would hope it's somewhere somewhat close. I mean, I guess in the end, nowhere could be that far, because I think the furthest NHL city away has got to be one of the Western Canada ones. I'm not good with geography, but I'd imagine it's either Vancouver or Calgary would be the furthest NHL city away. Yeah, it'd be interesting. Anson, Chat GPT told me 10 multi-goal games and tonight being 11. I couldn't get Chat GPT to work for me. That's why I tried to do real quick. I'm very hit or miss with Chat GPT. A lot of variables go into that. Jason, no, we never won more than 3 or lost more than 3 in a row. Yeah, it was just a very, very forgettable season last year, unfortunately. Sharks up 7-2 on the Kings. Wow. Listen, I told the Sharks, they're probably going to finish bad, but on any given night, they're dangerous, man. They have good players. Celebrini, Toffoli. They got Zetterlund. Who's in net for them tonight? Let's see. Oh, I hate the way the NHL does this. Why do you make it 7-2? Celebrini with 2 in the third. Zetterlund with 1. Wow. Who was in net? Which one of our former friends was it? Who was it? Oh, Askarov. Former Predator. Yaroslav Askarov getting the dub tonight. Mac Black on the bench as the backup. So I guess Vitek is probably on borrowed time over there. Wow. Wowzers. Let's see. So where are the... And the Blackhawks in the basement again. Yeah, I mean, wow. It's really unfortunate. I'm so glad we're past that right now, but it's so hard to dig yourself out from the gutter. And like right now, honestly, the Ducks, Sharks, Blackhawks are really in the gutter. Like they're really down. I mean, the Preds are at the moment too, but I don't think they're as bad as, the Blackhawks, Ducks, or Sharks. Those are some harsh realities. And as of tonight, I'm pretty sure it wasn't the case until right now or till tonight. But if you go by points percentage, your New Jersey Devils, my friends, are third in the Metro at 667 points percentage. Caps at 690 and the Hurricanes at 738. Devils now in the top three, leapfrogging the Rangers, who are now at 625. So in my, when I do the, if the playoffs started today and I would, for the whole, pretty much the whole season or most of the season, it was the Devils firmly in the first wild card spot. The Devils are now in the third place in the Metro spot. And there we have it. Luke, have a good night. Happy Thanksgiving, gentlemen. Let's go Devils. Good night, Luke. Jay Snow, Sharks got a lot of young talent, a stud goaltender. San Jose Sharks, NJD, fifth heaven. Oh, man, I would love a San Jose Sharks finals. Wow. Bedard's having a rough year. He has no talent around him. Same with the Penguins. Montreal's very stinky right now. Hawks probably the worst. Select the boy. Anyways, have a good night, Ace. Good night, sir. Let's go Devils. Jay Snow, Anaheim also has a stud in Dostal. I liked him. I was hoping the Devils could have inquired on him last year. Doesn't help Bedard's in the sophomore slump right now. Select the boy. Wow, that's the news you'd want to hear. Is that in reference to the standings? Where your New Jersey Devils, by points percentage right now, are third in the Metro by points percentage. If you just go straight points, people are going to say the Devils are in first place. I mean, with the asterisk, because we've played, we have 32 points. Both the Hurricanes are 31 points, and they have 3 less games played than we do. And the Caps have 29 points. Caps have 29 points with 3 games less played as well. And so that's why I tell people, like, yeah, we're technically in first, but I always look at the points percentage because that's the real indicator of the situation. Max, Devils PK 9-6. I don't know. What is that, Max? Oh, penalty kill went from 9th to 6th and the power play at 2. Yeah. Love to see it. I think the power play is going to continue to be nasty all year long. Puck Obo, I hear Hall is likely to get traded. Seen some NJD fans talking about trying for him, but I'm maybe not feeling it. I'm definitely not feeling it. That ship has sailed. His best year was with the Devils, and he's kind of tanked since then. And the way he left with the situation with the taunting of the fan, I'm just over it. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anything he could do for this team now. And so I unfortunately, between the constant drop off of statistics and the attitude and whatever else happened with the bad blood with the fans, left a bad taste in my mouth. And for those reasons, I'm out. I am out on Taylor Hall. We'll never forget the year he dragged us to the playoffs, basically single-handedly. I think he had about 90 or 91 points. And the second closest point leader was Nico with like 51 points, like a full 40 points behind him. Taylor Hall dragged us to the playoffs, obviously won a Hart Trophy as the league's most valuable player that year, and I'll never forget him for all that. But I think that ship has sailed, and like an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend, sometimes you never look back. And Taylor Hall is one of those ones that I have closed the book on. Puck Gobo, it's just not happening for Chicago, but they need Higgins, so it's not all bad for him. Let him rot. He's making $6 million. Yeah, it's all wild. It's all wild. All right, guys, this was another marathon. Damn, worse than Kovalchuk Parisi. No. It depends. It depends who you ask and how you look at it. The Kovalchuk thing, I think there may have been more behind the scenes that we don't know and maybe we'll never know about. And not that I give him a full pass, but Zach Parise was going home. His father was sick. It's hard to judge a dude for that. I mean, like I said, I've said on previous shows or whatever that, family's very important to me as well. And I think he knew his father was sick, and so he wanted to be near him. And I can't knock a guy for that. I think, and especially to get paid top dollar to go home near your sick father, I just don't see how, 99.999% of people do that same exact move in that scenario, given the option. So it's hard for me to bag on Zach for that one. And Kovalchuk, I just, that was a weird one. I do think there was more behind the scenes. There was more behind the scenes. Max, I know I said it before, but man, if we had McLeod, we'd be set except for the second line. Yeah, obviously, losing McLeod, we could talk about this all day. Losing him for absolutely nothing in terms of getting something back from, like, we didn't trade and make a bad trade. Like, whatever happened, we lost him. It sucks. It really sucks. Insane Pollock, you said that like you were a shark on Shark Tank. Yeah, that was the kind of joke. And for those reasons, I'm out. I'm glad you picked up on it. Amagi, man, Timo's cross check was epic. Just saw what Rempe did tonight. I'm rolling my eyes out of my head. What an absolute goofball. No idea why the Rags play him, but merch sales. I got to see. I haven't seen anything. I literally jumped out of my car, came in here, flipped on all the studio shit, and joined you fine folks for this post game. Puck Gobo, team aside, that's a very hard to hold a grudge on. I agree. Puck Gobo, I'd like to see one of the boys other than McD get a smash on Rempe. I want to see Dylan turn him into a hot dog. Yeah, his reach, though, the thing is, his reach is, he does have a crazy long reach, and he's super big. So I want our best fighter is McDermott. So I want McDermott just to crush him, because I do think Rempe could easily just kind of hold, even like Dylan, because the reach, I think he could just at least hold on for a kind of nothing event kind of fight where he doesn't get pounded. And I want to see him pounded. I really do. So it is what it is. It is what it is. Anyone have any last minute things? This is a new marathon. It's not going to top the record of the last one. The last one was a freaking marathon too. Your New Jersey Devils, guys, 5-1 in the last 6, beating some of the best teams in the league. As of tonight, again, it's a Fugazi first place. They're in first in the Metro, but like I said, I look at points percentage. That's a real indicator. So now we are in the top 3 of the Metro. They're in third in the Metro in points percentage. And a beautiful night. A beautiful, beautiful night. Amagi, I'll be at the game Wednesday. Hopefully McDermott gets a hat trick when you're not there. Oh, man. That, first of all, a McDermott hat trick, you're never going to see that. But I do love McDermott. Team is better without McDermott. Much more energy on the fourth line. I mean, apples to apples, yeah, the other guys are more productive than McDermott. But I do like when McDermott plays. I like what McDermott brings, but I also like that some of the more skill guys pick up extra shifts in McDermott's place, which I think is interesting as well. Final thoughts from me. Let's go Devils. Keep the wagon rolling. Let's go Devils. Richard, I'm trying to think. Ace, either one of our goalies played 3 straight games. I think Markstrom has. I mean, Allen definitely hasn't. I think Markstrom has gotten 3 in a row before, but I don't think 4. I'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure Markstrom got 3 in a row at least once or at least a couple times. Puckobo, loving how good we are. I know the stat nerds usually bugger it up, but you've seen the percentage to win the Stanley Cup. They put us up there with the Avs. I don't care about that stuff, but it's nice to get respected from, or get respect, I should say, from these statisticians or gambling odds makers, whoever it is. But we were kind of preseason sexy pick to win the cup in the preseason as well before the season started. Top 3 or 4 teams odds wise. Puck go, McDermott hat trick, ace shotguns a beer. I could shotgun a beer. I should have shotgunned a beer for Nico, but I don't want to do it. I can't. I'd have to do it outside. Shotgunning beers is messy and shit sprays. I got a lot of valuables, collectibles in the area. I can't be just spilling beer all over the place in here. As long as we keep Allen under 40 games and we keep that second round pick, I'm happy. Yeah, Allen's not getting 40 games in his dreams. In his dreams. Dream. All right, guys, I'm delirious. I'm spent. Thank you all for joining the live. It's always fun. It honestly doesn't feel like as long as it is. I mean, shit, 3 hours is kind of wild. Time flies when you're having fun with your friends on the internet. But another marathon in the books. Your New Jersey Devils come out on home ice. Take care of the Nashville Predators by a score of 5-2. Your captain, Nico Hischier, with a natural hat trick, the first hat trick of his career in the second period. Absolutely love to see it. Timo being heavier, edgier, more violent. Just a great night all around at the Rock in those jerseys that I don't really love. But good times as always, kids. Thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching as always. Thank you for your participation. It's a nice little community we have here. We have some doomers and some kind of D-bags that are show their hand once in a while. But for the most part, I think we have a lot of cool folks in here. And I enjoy doing this. I didn't plan on doing any of this, to be honest with you guys. When I started the channel, I was just kind of putting up. Oh, thank you, sir. Super sticker. What is super sticker? I don't know what super sticker is. I didn't plan on appearing on camera. But I was like, screw it. I'll talk to the people. I will talk to the people. Night Max. Love this. Let's go Devils. Woodson, Doomers, and one bad mic. Woodson, how old are you, Woodson? I'm curious. How old do we think John Woodson is? I think he has to be older. I'm not sure how old, but I have him pegged for on the older spectrum. And by older, I mean older than a lot of you youngins in here. And older, like maybe around my age. Simon, what is that? Is that not too old to fix a mic? Woodson, it's you think it's like this simple thing. Most of it is a software connectivity issue. Once in a while I do hit it and it freaks out the software when I plug it back in, but it's not as easy as you think it is. And a lot of it, some of the times, has nothing to do with me whatsoever. And like I said, it's a software connectivity thing. And I have friends that are like professional YouTubers that have issues with software and this shit as well. So I'd be curious, where's your YouTube channel, Woodson? Please drop a link in the chat. Drop a link in the chat to your Dirt Ace. Drop a link in the chat, Woodson, to your YouTube channel where you never have any issues. Amagi, you're definitely overestimating Woodson's age. Now to do what New York Rangers needs to do when it comes to trying for a cup, go back to sleep. See you, Ace. Good night. Insane. Is that your guess for Woodson? Or is that your age? All right. That's it. Your New Jersey Devils do it big. 5-2 win over the Predators. The captain with the natural hat trick. 5-1 in the last 6. I love this team. I love life. I love all of you. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I hit it again. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.